gunman is at the White House.
The president is blasting Democrats in terms of that potential government shutdown that we could see come next week. Of course, government funding runs out at the end of the month. That's what's happening here. And to kick the can down the road, Republicans proposed a continuing resolution to keep funding levels the same as they are until November 21st. That didn't succeed in the Senate, and the president is blaming Democrats.
The president says he thinks the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey is only the beginning.
No, there'll be others. Look, that's my opinion.
Trump says the Biden administration weaponized the Justice Department, something Democrats say Trump is doing to punish his enemies. Comey faces charges of lying to Congress and obstruction of justice. He's due for arraignment October 9th in Virginia. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has taken his case for eliminating Hamas to the UN General Assembly.
The final remnants of Hamas are holed up in Gaza City. They vow to repeat the atrocities of October 7th again and again and again.
More on what he had to say from CBS's Linda Gradstein in Jerusalem.
There are still 48 Israeli hostages in Gaza, 20 of whom Israel believes are still alive. During his UN speech, Netanyahu read out all 20 names and, speaking in Hebrew, vowed to bring them all home. Ruby Chen, the father of Israeli-American hostage Itai Chen, whose body is still being held in Gaza, said Netanyahu's job is to get all 48 hostages home.
The Commerce Department says its personal consumption expenditures price index was up slightly in August from a year ago. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
It only ticked up slightly from 2.6% to 2.7% annually. Sure, that is still moving away from the Fed's 2% target, but it does support their position to move to focus towards the labor market and cut interest rates like they did last week. But the investors that I'm talking to are saying, look, inflation is still stubborn or persistent. They don't like the direction that it's moving in, but at least it is not runaway as of now.
In London, a member of the Irish rap group Kneecap is out of jail.
I'm Vicky Barker in London. To the cheers of supporters, rapper Mo Carroll walked out of the London courtroom a free man after a judge threw out the terror-related charges against him on technical grounds.
We said we would fight you in your court and we would win. Today we have.
The rapper had been charged for waving the flag of Hezbollah, banned here as a terrorist group.
And a correction, he was not jailed, but in legal trouble. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Confirmed Travis Decker dead. Details coming up. At first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. 2 lanes are closed northbound on State Route 167 near Pacific. That's after a truck hit a girder. You are backed up to Sumner. Construction as you bog down on the I-90 bridge eastbound over Mercer Island. Travel times not bad right now. Everett to Seattle, 28 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 36. Renton to Bellevue, 24. Traffic brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Cage-free eggs are good, free-range are better, and mobile pasture are the best. Choose the best. Locally fresh Wilcox Family Farm eggs.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The Chelan County Sheriff is confirming that Travis Decker is dead. DNA from skeletal remains found near Rock Island Campground matched Decker, who's wanted in the murders of his 3 young daughters. Sheriff Mike Morrison speaking about the girl's mother.
If anything, we just hope that maybe she would sleep better at night. She wouldn't be looking over her shoulder. But we understand nothing we can do is going to reverse this travesty and bring her daughters back.
The girls' bodies were found at a campground near Leavenworth in June. A drive-by shooting in South Seattle last night leaves a 41-year-old man injured. The victim says he was sitting in his car on Wabash Avenue South when someone fired through the window. He is in stable condition. Detectives say he knows the shooter, but the gunman took off before police got there. A 25-year-old Renton man accused of attacking a trans woman is being held now on $300,000 bail.
Randmore Edwards, charged with assault and a hate crime in the beating of 39-year-old Nikki Armstrong September 15th, pleaded not guilty to the charges. Prosecutors allege Edwards and 3 teens beat and kicked Armstrong while yelling transphobic slurs.
These are very violent charges, and it is the alleged brutality and the alleged animus which gives me the greatest concern.
At the King County Regional Justice Justice Center in Kent. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
WashDOT has assessed the damage after a truck hit a girder beneath State Route 167 near Pacific, closing 2 lanes northbound.
We do know that the one girder essentially is not carrying any load anymore, which is why we have the lanes closed. We will not be able to put traffic back on that until we've completely replaced that girder.
And WashDOT's Brian Nielsen says it's going to take several months to repair this. The Mariners now have a first-round playoff bye and home field advantage in the division series. Seattle beat the Colorado Rockies last night 6-2. It was a big night for Eugenio Suarez.
Swung on, belted deep to left field. Going and goodbye baseball off the facing of the upper deck and left.
Tonight, the M's start their last regular season series against the World Series winning LA Dodgers. The Seahawks nearly let last night's game slip away. Arizona tied the game with 33 seconds left, but Jason Myers nailed a 52-yard field goal. Seattle wins 23-20. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny skies today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 52 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
That's right. Good morning. It is Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy September 26th. We got Ian here on the boards. Good morning to you, Ian. I'm going to talk about your hat here in a second. We got my man Paul. Paul is in for Chef today. Good morning to you, Paul.
Good morning.
We'll be talking about your Colorado Rockies, and I want to thank you for being a punching bag like they have been to the whole Major League Baseball this year. Really appreciate the Colorado Rockies. And as you all know, Ursula is getting ready to fly away. So my main man, Mike Lewis, is in the building. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, G.
Good morning. Hey, I am hyped up. There's a lot of stuff going, but the biggest reason why I'm hyped up is because it's finally Friday. It felt like it took 19 and a half days to become Friday. This was the longest week ever, Mike. I'm telling you, it was long.
That's because it's been getting so dark so early.
Yeah, exactly. And also, at 9:47 today, if you guys want to stick around and hear something and you want to be able to laugh at G, stick around at 9:47, and I'm going to tell you why yesterday was low-key a day from hell. But right now, let's get to it. The top stories of the day brought to you by Bathfitter Northwest. How about those Mariners after sweeping Paul's team, the Colorado Rockies, and claiming the AL West crown? Well, yesterday's win locked up the 2 seed, meaning a first-round bye and home field advantage for this red-hot Mariners club. Ahead of the playoffs, Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers come to town to wrap up the regular season. How about the energy of this team? We'll talk about some of the highlights, but I'll give you one. Julio!
The 3-2. Swung on that slug to center field, hit well. Julio racing back. He's on the track. He's at the wall, makes a leap, and makes the catch. Julio, a tremendous catch, slamming into the wall. Ritter has to retreat back to first base. The no-fly zone in full effect as Julio reels it in.
Mike Lewis, it's no secret you own a bar downtown. Mm-hmm. I don't want to ask just about business, but I want to ask first your thoughts on, it's been 24 years since the Mariners have won the AL West.
I'm happy. I was talking with some friends earlier, actually a few months ago before the season began, and I was thinking, like, I think I've had relatively good luck. I think you have too, given where you grew up, right? You have quite a few championships, certainly in basketball, right? Mm-hmm. Chicago. Mm-hmm. You've got at least one 1985 football. Yep. You've got White Sox, you've got Cubs. I mean, you've got a lot of good things, and I feel like that growing up not far from the Bay Area. I was a Giants, Raiders, Warriors fan. I've had like a embarrassment of wealth over the course of time.
Come on.
I had to say, like, if I had to pick between one of my teams winning a championship and the Mariners winning a championship, I'd pick the Mariners. And Mariners are like my second, like my all, like anyone who moves here, it's become sort of your second tier team. I am thrilled for it. And I'm thrilled. I had got such a kick out of people losing their minds when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl that watching the Mariners do well, it's so fun to watch just the reaction from fans because talk about long suffering.
Yeah.
They are the definition of it, right?
They're the definition of, I think that we can agree on this. We love an underdog story.
Totally.
And if there's any team in baseball that has been an underdog throughout, it has been the Mariners.
Systemically,
yes. I have a very specific reason why I'm super excited. Not to say, look, there's Mariner fans, some of you hang on and watch every game, and you guys know how much I watch the Mariners more now than in a long time. Right. So I have been doing that, go to games and all that stuff. But here's something that I really, really, that I'm happy about. There's a lot of people that maybe rolled their eyes when they made Dan Wilson the manager.
Oh, I think entirely true. I think you're onto something here, right?
You know what I'm saying?
No, I get you.
And there's a lot of people like, oh, sure, that Dan Wilson, the catcher. And then maybe you rolled your eyes when you see Dan Wilson there, and then you see Edgar Martinez standing there, and you're like, okay, all right, stop it with the nostalgia, stop it with the 95 slide, and stop it. Can we just move on and try to actually build this ball club what they need to be? And the fact that Dan Wilson is the manager while it's all happening. The same Dan Wilson that was behind the plate as a catcher when the magic happened in 95 and 97 and 2001, and here we are right now.
It's a great story.
It's a great story.
Right.
Do I think, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, do I think that the Mariners can win the World Series? I'm not just thinking it. I'm expecting it. I'm expecting it the same way I expect things to go right in my life.
Right.
You're right. Like there's some people who's like, oh, well, I hope that I get that job, or I hope that I have a good week, or I hope that quit hoping. Just claim it.
Right.
And then if somebody's going to be, oh, there's that guy. You always believe it in yourself. Yes, I believe that they can win the World Series.
However, G, having watched your career, let's just use you as an example since you use you as an example. You didn't go 40 years without a job. If you get my drift.
Wait.
I mean, I think your success has been substantially more than the Mariners' success.
I went 38 without a real job.
You had a real job. You were not working?
I mean, I was washing cars and hustling.
That is a real job. That's a more real job than any job you've had since, honestly.
That was hustling.
Yeah, you were hustling. And so I guess, I agree with you. You have to think super positive. But if any group of fans have a reason to have that worry in the back of their mind,
no doubt.
Mariners fans.
Hey, before we get to our next story, because Luke Ducey is in here, and then we want to ask him and talk to him about the Chelan County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Marshals Service, because they officially have declared Travis Decker dead. We'll be talking to him in about 2 minutes. Before we get to Luke Ducey, I want to talk about, the Seahawks. And by the way, usually I'm going to talk about Seahawks usually before Mariners, so that lets you know how excited I am about the Mariners. But they took down the Arizona Cardinals. And by the way, you cannot just think nothing. It's the Arizona Cardinals. If you know Seahawk history, you know that football down in Arizona is one of the worst places to be. I can't stand that place.
I've never been for a game.
I can't stand it.
1 second's been put back on the clock, so 4 seconds left. 52-yarder. Myers from the left hash mark. Chris Stoll does the snapping. Michael Dixon puts it down. Jason Myers, the kick is on the way, and the kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Seahawks win the game. They beat NFC West foe, the Arizona Cardinals, on the final play of the game. And what a roar from the crowd. So many 12s here tonight, and Seattle saves this victory. 23-20 over the Arizona Cardinals.
Before that field goal, I had about 6-ish handfuls of peanut M&Ms in my house, Mike Lewis. I was stressed out. but I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know if you guys do it, but I stress eat. And I was stressed out in that game. At 11 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, the Arizona Cardinals had a 3.6% chance of winning. All of a sudden, boom, we got a ball game. And that's what started to happen. Luckily, they won because I didn't eat anything else after they won that game. Your quick thoughts on that Seahawks win?
So, my quick thoughts, one, I'm happy. Obviously, very happy whenever the Seahawks win.
By the way, Mike McDonald is your twin flame, bruh. Just so you know, when I see Mike McDonald, I think Mike Lewis. But go ahead.
All right, then. While I ruminate on that for a minute, I think the thing about Arizona that kind of is sad for Arizona, it was when I was younger, what was kind of sad about when they were the San Diego Chargers is that you would hear games on broadcast, especially if they were playing somebody like the Raiders where the fans travel well, and you couldn't tell if it was a home or away game. If you heard the cheers if you're a home team, that's got it. You know, the U.S. men's national soccer team almost reflexively will not play games against Central or South American teams in Southern United States because they sound like an away game. You cannot play USA-Mexico in Los Angeles and have it sound like a USA game. This is Arizona Cardinals football. When it sounds like when people are cheering on a field goal and it's a home game. On a Seahawks field goal.
Now, Mike, I just want to say that I'm way too invested in Seahawks and Mariners and all this stuff. And if I do get a chance to do Over Life again and they ask me, hey, do you want to like sports? The answer is going to be no. I don't want to like sports.
No, I don't blame
because
you.
that way, you know what I mean? Like, I know that if you're listening right now, there's some people who's like, yeah, I don't care. Good for you. You're winning. That's awesome. But it's when you care so much, when you care about the Colorado Rockies and they lose 100-plus games all these years, that can be hard on you. It can be stressful.
Absolutely.
You start growing out beards and riding bikes to work.
You start replaying videos from 1995 every single year.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened.
Crazy. This is a tough transition, but it's going to have to be made. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Marshal Service have declared Travis Decker dead. The Marshal Service declared Decker dead earlier this week, but Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison wanted to wait until all the DNA results were returned from the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab. Join us right now to see what's next for this story is KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. Luke, what is the latest, sir?
You know, this is a tough transition, right? But I think it's so important to continue talking about this story in the days after because this touched so many people in so many different ways. Yeah. And, we're hoping that this is closure for not only family and friends and Wenatchee of the Decker family and Whitney Decker, but also, people listening and, all the journalists who are covering it too, all of us who had to talk about it for a long time, and we will in the future as well. But let's get some closure maybe and some peace here.
Luke Ducey, before you get to that, I don't know where you're going to ready to go next, but sure. I got a couple questions, and again, I'm glad this is done, resolved. People get to move on. But first, how come they didn't find Travis Decker earlier?
Yeah, that's so. This is where I was going to go. These are the big questions. Let's just touch on the big questions. Yeah, and there's no answer to that just yet. You know, so let's just go to the very end of the story, kind of. So a lot of questions about where they found Decker's body. They found his body about 3/4 of a mile away from the original crime scene at the Rock Island Campground, which is about 17 miles east of Leavenworth. That's where the three girls, Decker's daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, were found dead in early June by deputies. So how did Decker's body end up there, so close to that original crime scene? Did he commit suicide? Did he fall or have some kind of accident? Was he injured? Or did he hike somewhere really far away? Because remember, this search area for Decker was miles and miles and counties away in the Teanaway Valley and Kittitas County, Snoqualmie Pass, the Enchantments, Blewett Pass. It was all over the map. Did he go there and then come back for some reason? The cause of death, that's what I want to look for next, and I think that's going to help answer a lot of those questions. The other big question, though, is that you'll remember earlier this week, it took a few days to declare Decker officially dead. The U.S. Marshals declared Decker deceased. We read in court papers earlier in this week based on DNA results from clothing that they found at the scene of where his body was The other day, though, Morrison, the sheriff, told me he was going to wait. He was waiting to figure out also and getting DNA results back from the skeletal remains found at that scene because of a couple different reasons. One, he wanted to make sure. He wasn't going to tell family members and friends this is a definite without knowing for sure. But also, he wanted to dispel a bizarre rumor that was floating around. Listen to this. Having trouble.
Narratives that have got out there that he simply killed somebody else and left their remains on the mountainside.
Now, we didn't hear all that soundbite, but basically, there was a rumor floating around that maybe Decker had killed somebody else, maybe swapped clothes with that person to help evade police. Obviously, that's not what happened, but a lot of interesting twists and turns still in this case. But again, such a sad story for so many people, but especially Whitney Decker, the mother of those three little girls, and let's hope that there is some peace in her near future.
So I had a quick question. The discussion about why he was found relatively close to the original crime scene, why it took so long, why the search went so broad and didn't as much focus on the immediate area around there, which seemed to be the most likely. And if you talk to any sort of law enforcement experts who are not involved in this, many of them said they felt like probably that he was dead, probably that he was not, still around or had killed himself shortly afterwards. But here's the thing. I'm curious if they're talking about, are they going to do some sort of look at it could be that it's completely blameless. Finding a body in the wilderness is incredibly difficult. And if you don't have any sort of specific clues as to where the body is, it's exceedingly difficult. And every single time I've covered one of these stories, many years as a newspaper reporter, it's always a hard find. But are they doing any sort of internal examination? Like, hey, are there things we could have done different for this search? Because that was an enormously expensive, costly, emotionally wrenching sort of search that went on for months, right? Are they talking about that within the sheriff's department or no?
It's a great question, and that's a question obviously I'm going to have for the sheriff's department that I want answered as well. Certainly, there's going to be some action review items and things. Every time they have like a tactical search or something, they're going to come back and they're going to review that, and they're going to review the intel that they had and this and that. But yeah, one thing I was sharing with people in the newsroom as well, and I don't think I've ever really shared this on air yet, and I don't think it's out of bounds to share it, but I've had multiple conversations with Sheriff Morrison, and at one point he did tell me that he kind of made a comment, and this is because I was recording at the time, so it's public, but he said, it's not like this is the first investigation we've ever done.
Right.
And saying that out loud, though, to a reporter who's asking questions, that came across to me is interesting, number one. Number two, I wondered about the pressure that you're alluding to. What's going on internally? You've got federal investigators, U.S. Marshals are in charge of the search. He's calling shots for Chelan County. Obviously, at the end of all this, you got a discrepancy like, U.S. Marshal saying he's deceased in court documents, and the sheriff saying, I'm not, but he's a local guy who is beholden to voters. I mean, he's elected to that office. The feds are not. So there's a dynamic in there that I really want to get into as well. To your point, there are a lot of questions about how that worked.
Right.
And the answers and the results that came out of that.
Well, Luke Ducey, we always appreciate you. Have a great weekend, my man.
Hey, you do the same.
Thank you so much.
The absolute same. Thanks.
I had to make sure, we got about 30 seconds left. I had to make sure Luke Ducey was going away because sometimes, pull back the curtain, as you guys know, Luke Ducey is a very, very serious reporter here at KIRO News Radio. And yes, I am the wild child of KIRO News Radio. And so sometimes I say things and they'll say, hey, can you wait until Luke leaves because we want to keep his reputation. So now that Luke Ducey is gone, Mike, I got about now 15 seconds to ask you about something and ask you all too to weigh in on this conversation. Former MVP, former running back, Seahawks legend, Sean Alexander and his wife, they are now expecting their 14th child.
What?
Now, yeah. See, I told my man Paul Holden I was going to spring this on you, and it was not going to put this in the notes. First, why is the look on your face that way? Tell me what you're thinking right now.
I don't know if I have time to say
you do. Go ahead.
So So there was a long time ago, there's this story, I don't know whether it's true, about Groucho Marx, comedian, long late comedian, on his show, and how he got kicked off television in the 1950s. And he did actually get kicked off television, and it wasn't because he wasn't popular, it's because he made off-color jokes. Here's the off-color joke that he made. He's talking to a woman. He'd always do this little banter before the show would start. He's talking to this woman, and he asks her what she does for a living, one of the contestants. He says, I am a mom. And he goes, oh, a mom. He goes, yeah, I've got 10 kids. And he says, 10 kids? And she says, yes, I love my husband very much. And he says, well, I love this cigar, but I take it out of my mouth every now and again.
Oh, boy. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Yep. Yeah, they call G. Scott the wild child around this place. But yes, Ian, I'm getting out of here. He has now had his 14th. They're going to be having their 14th child. Text in right now, 888-973-5476. If your friend sat across from you at the table and said, friend, we are now getting ready to have our 14th child, what would you say? Coming up next, Charlie Harger joins us to talk about Rick Riz and his awesome Rick Riz commentary showing Rick love.
I'll be honest, retirement is not that far away from me. And while I've done a lot of things to prepare, I've never really stopped to ask, am I doing everything right? Hi, this is Ursula Reutin. When I eventually retire, I want to travel the world. I want to spend more time with my family, hopefully grandkids. I want to leave something behind for the next generation, and that is where Trajan Wealth comes in. They're fiduciary advisors, family-owned and veteran-led. They're going to sit down with me, review what I have, and help me make smart, tactical investments for growth that still fit my comfort level and my timeline. When you work with the advisors at Trajan Wealth, you can be confident they're looking out for your best interests. To find out how they can help you, call Trajan Wealth today at 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300, or go to TrajanWealth.com. That's Trajan, spelled Trajan. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Have you stopped to think about how you feel today compared to, say, 10 years ago? Are you noticing changes? Less energy, slow recovery, trouble focusing, maybe even weight gain? What if you could turn back the clock and feel stronger, sharper, and more alive? At Longevity Medical Clinic, we help people do exactly that. For over 3 decades, we've been helping thousands of men and women find out what's really going on inside their bodies and take action to feel better and live longer. With advanced diagnostics and personalized hormone and supplement plans, we uncover what's been holding you back and show you how to optimize your health. Our patients often say, now I finally understand what's happening and what to do about it. Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better. Live longer. Let's do it together.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted on 2 charges linked to the investigation into whether Russia meddled in the 2016 election. President Trump had vowed to go after his political foes. When asked who's next on the list,
It's not a list, but I think there'll be others. I mean, they're corrupt.
Comey's accused of giving false statements to Congress and obstructing a congressional proceeding, which he denies. A defiant Israeli prime minister addresses the UN General Assembly.
As Benjamin Netanyahu walked up to the podium, dozens of UN delegations walked out.
Please, order in the hall.
To mingle jeers and cheers. He lashed out at the Western nations who've moved to recognize a Palestinian state.
We will not commit national suicide because you don't have the guts to face down a hostile media and anti-Semitic mobs demanding Israel's blood.
Netanyahu denied Israel is committing genocide in Gaza and insisted its offensive there will continue until, his words, the job is done. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Microsoft says it has disabled cloud and AI services for a unit within the Israeli military. Microsoft President Brad Smith says the company found evidence that Israel is using the technology to spy on citizens in Gaza and the West Bank. Smith says that goes against the company's commitment to privacy and human rights. Starbucks is laying off 900 corporate workers and closing hundreds of stores. That includes the Reserve Roasteries on Capitol Hill and in Soto.
I met Cameron and 2 of her coworkers outside Starbucks Reserve Roastery on Capitol Hill. She tells me her phone rang early Thursday.
This morning at 8 a.m., they gave us an automated phone call that we do not have jobs. They're not transferring us any stores, and basically, good luck.
The windows at the roastery are now boarded up. The famous siren above the front door was removed. Starbucks says the closure is part of a $1 billion restructuring plan across North America. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
There's new data from the Federal Reserve on inflation. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
Good news. It only ticked up slightly from 2.6% to 2.7% annually. Sure, that is still moving away from the Fed's 2% target, but it does support their position to move to focus towards the labor market and cut interest rates like they did last week. But the investors that I'm talking to are saying, look, inflation is still stubborn or persistent. They don't like the direction that it's moving in, but at least it is not runaway as of now.
On Wall Street, the Dow was up 268 points, NASDAQ ahead 12. KIRO News Radio traffic. 2 lanes are closed northbound on State Route 167 near Pacific. That's after a truck hit a girder earlier. You are backed up to Sumner. And construction has bogged down on the I-90 bridge eastbound over Mercer Island. Heads up, WashDOT has canceled the weekend closure of I-405, but there's still a lot of road work this weekend. It'll shut down parts of I-5, State Route 18, and I-90. Traffic brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Cage-free eggs are good, free-range better, and mobile pasture are the best. Choose the best. Locally fresh Wilcox Family Farm eggs. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny skies today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Happy Fresh Fridays, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, coming up in about 12 minutes, maybe 13, I got to tell you about something that happened to me yesterday. And it has always been my biggest fear for a long time, because it hasn't happened for a long time. I want to know if it's even a fear of yours. I'll share with you because it happened to me. Oh, my goodness. But right now, there is something special about hearing a baseball game on the radio. I think that most of you listening right now, you can remember a time when you listened to baseball on the radio, and hopefully you still do it now because it still brings back memories. It might be that crackle of the signal, the roar of the crowd behind it. But more importantly, you got the voices, steady, familiar, trusted. For Charlie Harger, that's Rick Riz and Steve Rabel, and he joins us right now. Charlie!
Hey, it's great to be here, G, and good to see you too, Mike. Long-time caller, first-time listener, something like that. I am a guy who has listened to play-by-play on Seattle radio since I was a kid, since the 80s. Yeah, I started out listening when Rick was an apprentice to Dave Niehaus. Rick was the sidekick, basically.
Yeah.
You had Steve Rabel, who was a sidekick to the late, great Pete Gross, and I was hooked. There is nothing like listening to those two men when they are on the air and they are calling a game. And it really, there's almost an emotional connection that happens there because you don't have a picture in front of you, right? You're listening to them, they're describing the scene. And what's so great about them is they're fans of the team. And when you watch a national broadcast, when you're hearing the network do it, they're trying to be all impartial and objective with both teams on the ground. Not with Rick, not with Steve. They are fans with you. Yeah. And that's something I just so enjoy, and it's also just so intimate, right? I mean, you're driving down the road in your car. You got no one else in the car with you. It's just you and Rick. You are out in the backyard doing yard work. It's Steve who's talking to you while you're weeding. He's telling you what the Seahawks are doing right then. There's nothing like it. And what got me thinking was we talk with Rick every Thursday on Seattle's Morning News. Steve's had 3 chances to call Super Bowls, right? He has called 3 Super Bowls. One of them we even won. Rick hasn't had that chance. Rick hasn't made it to the World Series. And I got to thinking, Rick has been here like 40 years, something like that with the Mariners. Yeah. He's due. I mean, that guy has given his life to this team. Yeah. And the idea that we got a good shot this year, I want to hear that.
I do too. I'm here for it. I like so I agree with you. It's nice to hear, especially to hear when a local broadcaster is just clearly pumped about something they just watched on I love it. One of my sub-favorite things in all of sports is when experts are astonished. It's when you see an athlete react to what another athlete did and they're just kind of blown away. That's one of my favorite things in all of sports. But I would say this, to back it up a little bit. You both remember in the early days of WGN becoming a national.
Yeah,
I knew I was going to trigger G on this one. There is a point at which when your local broadcasters are over too much of a homer, and that was like nothing made me. It made a whole bunch of Cubs fans. It made me absolutely I found the Cubs repellent as a result of their broadcast team.
Okay, you found them repellent. Now, I, born and raised in Chicago.
Harry Carey.
Right. Like, Harry Carey. As a matter of fact, when I stand up in the 7th inning and you guys sing Take Me Out to the ball game, that whole deal, I always think of Harry Carey.
Right.
Harry Carey was lit. by the seventh inning.
He was always lit.
He was not sober during that time.
He wasn't sober during that decade.
You know what I mean? And so Harry Carey was my childhood. People ask me all the time, was I a White Sox fan or a Cubs fan? I was the only one on my block growing up in Chicago. I was a Cubs fan, no doubt about it. So I love, Charlie, that you're coming in talking about Dave Niehaus. What made you, like you said, you really have followed it, but you really wanted to give Rick Riz his flowers?
Rick has just... Look, I think we all know Rick has been through a lot the past couple of years, a lot in his personal life, and he keeps coming back. I think a lot of us, if we had gone through what Rick has gone through, you might start to think, maybe it's time I hang it up, and I don't need to do this anymore. But it's almost as if Rick needs this, and he wants to give back, and this is... I don't know. I think that would be the perfect way to do it. My friends were really happy hearing the commentary a little earlier today. I was able to take a shot at Aikman and Buck, listening to them on a play-by-play versus listening to Rabel, right? I mean, it is night and day.
I completely agree with you.
I'm the type of guy, too, where I will set up. I have like this little janky setup. I will play the radio play-by-play over the TV as well. Yeah. I know that's a total old man thing to do, but I love it. It feels so much better having people who are invested in the game.
Yeah. Well, hey, before you go, I know a lot of times that the way your show is structured, Seattle's Morning News, you guys are more of the news side. And then the wild child comes in after you and does everything.
The Tasmanian devil.
Yep, that's what they call me. We would love to hear your opinion on something. Seahawk legend Sean Alexander just had his 14th child. They're going to be having their 14th child.
A lot of children.
Can you give us your thoughts on that, sir?
That, good for them, if that's what he wants. But, man, that is way too much for me. I have two kids, and it is a handful. I don't know how you do 14.
I said my piece.
Yes, Mike. Allie in Tacoma is still laughing about your part of the deal. Thanks, Charlie. Have a great weekend, sir.
You too, G.
Hey, in the 10 o'clock hour, we got a question, and hopefully some of you guys are still around to join us, but in the 10 o'clock hour, around 10:30, we need to ask one question. Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer? We're going to be talking about that. Is he a Hall of Famer, or did he play himself out of the Hall of Fame? That comes up at 10:30 because we have some sound that you need to hear. But up next, I had the day from hell yesterday, and I had a moment that was pretty embarrassing. You want to laugh at me? Stick around. Next, Gee Ursula.
There it goes! Storybook season by Cal Raleigh. He has done it!
2026 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale now. There's no better way to catch Cal, Julio, and the crew at T-Mobile Park with year-round savings, no ticket fees, access to exclusive pre-sales at events, and more. And you've got two great options. Reserved memberships let you lock in the best locations in the ballpark so you can make your favorite spot home all summer long, whether you want to catch 20 games or the whole season.
Oh, he makes the catch! What a snag by Julio Rodriguez!
Or go with a Flex membership, which gives you the freedom to choose your seats, games, and number of tickets as you go. Terrace Club, bleachers, right behind the dugout, divvy it up however you want. This season's been a whole lot of fun, and you won't want to miss out in 2026. Come on board today at mariners.com/26.
The Mariners, their third consecutive shutout win.
Mariners baseball. Seize the moment.
Hey, it's G. Scott here. With kids back in school, it's rally time, and I encourage everyone to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Here's the truth. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong, stay focused, and live healthy lives. But for families on tight budgets, those essentials can be out of reach. That's where we come in. Together, the Washington State Department of Health and Safeway need you to make a difference in making fruits and veggies accessible to families and kids. Safeway is deeply committed to nourishing our communities. Every dollar donated is another dollar eligible families can use on fresh produce. And with SNAP Produce Match, they can buy twice as much with each dollar. Let's work together to make sure every kid has access to the nutrition that they deserve. Next time you're at your neighborhood Safeway, please say yes at checkout to donate to keep kids healthy again. Together, we can, one bite at a time. Learn more and start saving at Safeway.com/SNAP or on your Safeway for You app.
Spike O'Neill here with Dr. Matthew Sharp, owner of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Dr. Sharp, I am amazed at the brightness and the clarity that I didn't even realize I'd lost before I had my procedure. How's that even possible?
A lot of people don't realize that. As you get older, the lens not only is less flexible, but it gets less transparent. And gradually, even in our 40s, 50s, 60s, the lens variety does get less transparent. So you get more glare at night, more halos, loss of contrast sensitivity, loss of some color vision or decreased color vision.
What I was seeing.
And so when we replace that lens that gets cloudier and cloudier with a crystal clear lens, all of the light gets through, all of the clarity, all the brightness, all the colors. And again, with the multifocal lenses that we have, it's sort of like a bifocal built in, so you can see near and far.
Give the folks at Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens a call at 425-451-2020 or online at sharp-vision.com. Sharp with an E-vision.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
At Kia of Everett, we make leasing your new Kia simple, easy, and fun. Now through September 30th, lease a 2026 Kia EV9 Lite Long Range for just $249 a month for 24 months with $49.99 due at signing.
Lease payment on approved credit with Kia Finance America plus tax after $13,500 Kia Finance America 24-month lease cash and Kia of Everett discount of $3,322. Quoted payment is before monthly sales tax and fees. Select vehicles only subject to prior sale. See dealer for full details.
The best drive you'll ever take is to Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
We live in one of the most beautiful places on earth, and owning your own deck is a great way to enjoy it. But finding the right decking solution can be overwhelming. That's why all 9 of our Puget Sound locations offer decking showrooms so you can get your hands and toes on the more than 60 decking options we carry. So if you have any questions about building, maintaining, or repairing your deck, contact me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, your decking headquarters since 1907.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning. Mike Lewis is in for Ursula today. Really appreciate Mike joining us. Hey, coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we got a lot of stuff going on. Action-packed 10 o'clock hour at 10:30. Mike and I weigh in, and we need you to weigh in as well. Here's a question. Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer? Or did he play himself out of the Hall of Fame? I'm sure we can argue back and forth on that one, Mike. That'll be a good one.
Or maybe we'll agree.
Or maybe we'll agree. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, and then coming up at 10 o'clock, ex-FBI Director James Comey indicted. We got to talk about this and how and if this is one of the reasons why people do not turn on Donald Trump. So we do that at 10 o'clock, but right now we need to talk. Question for you first. Is there ever a time that you go to use your debit or credit card? Are you ever afraid of it declining, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I went through, I put myself through college. I was on the edge of my finances for years.
Okay.
I still get that. I am fine. Like, there's always money in the account. Certainly, I'm not out there buying cars with it, but I'm definitely buying groceries or whatever else.
Yeah.
I still have that pang of nervousness. You never lose it. Like, you get this tiny little PTSD about it. If you went through a period in your life like that, it never goes away.
It never goes away. I know someone's hearing me talk right now, and they can relate. Matter of fact, there is someone listening right now that can relate to going to the gas station, and you're getting ready to pay for some gas, and you put your card in, and you try to do your thing, and then all of a sudden you see a message that says, see the cashier.
Yeah.
You've seen it before.
Oh, yeah. But the worst is still grocery shopping.
Oh, yeah.
The walk of shame when nothing happens and there's a whole line of people behind you and you have to, I could still feel flushed when I think about that.
So I had gone to, first, I'm not going to put the restaurant out there because I got a story about, I'm going to say something about the food that I picked up from a restaurant. I picked up food from a restaurant. My wife wanted me to pick up some Mexican food for the people that's coming, so I picked it up there. Then as I was picking it up, she also texted me and said, hey, you got to go by the store and grab these things. So as I was driving through, the closest store was Winco, right there on 72nd, right close to I-5 freeway down in Tacoma. So I go inside of there, and I go and grab some things. Grab those things. It's a long line inside of Winco. I think a lot of people are doing what I'm doing. They're trying to hurry up and get ready to go to watch Thursday Night Football in the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm like, man, this line is really taking a little long time. So anyways, I finally get up there, put it up there, beep, beep, beep. Total comes to $34 and some change. I grab my phone, and I'm at Winco. So if you guys know, you can't do credit card. You have to use debit card.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can't use a credit card. And I said, oh, okay. So I go to use my wallet pay with my debit card that's connected. I go to do it. Declined. Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay. I pull out my debit card. I grab it, pull it out, and I go to put it in there. Declined. And I'm like, I'm sitting there. There's a long line, people watching. I go to grab my phone. I'm going to grab my phone to go look at my account and be like, is everything okay?
Right.
Then this guy comes in and says, hey, G. Scott. Right? He says that to me. I'm like, oh, hey. And he comes to shake my hand. Oh, hey, how you doing? Shake his hand. He doesn't know what's going on, but I know, and checkout lady knows. And the people I'm standing up that's in this long line, they know that my card is declining.
I'm feeling your pain.
So I go to look at my account real quick. I go to my online banking. I go look at it. I'm looking. I'm like, okay, there's money in the account. Okay, let me see if my debit card is locked. My debit card isn't locked. I go to try. I say, okay, yeah, I should be fine. I don't know. It must have been a glitch. I go to do it again. Declined. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. I said, oh, is there an ATM in here? Maybe I'll try the ATM. Maybe that'll work. He's like, yeah, you go right on over there. So I go over there. They put my groceries over to the side. I go over there. The ATM is not working. It's declining. Nothing's happened. So I call the 1-800 number for my bank, and I get somebody on the phone, and they tell me that, your card, everything's locked because there's fraud that's being attempted on your account. So at the same time, coincidentally, that I'm trying to get those groceries, somebody else is trying to commit fraud on my account. So it looks terrible.
Right.
And so I'm spending all this time. Now it's 5:05. The game starts at 5:15. I'm struggling right now. I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind. So then I see a buddy of mine who comes out. He's like, gee, what you doing? I'm like, man, long story short, man, but I ain't got no money right now. Can you help me? Can you help me buy these groceries? It's just $34. I'll get you. He said, oh, man, come on. So we go over, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting the groceries. The lady says, Oh, we put it back already.
They put
the groceries back. It's crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, at some point, you're thinking like, so how much fraud? Because I just want to get these groceries and get on out of here. Open the card up.
And by the way, right. And by the way, I still haven't taken care of that, but at least my card, so it's still frozen, my account. But I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, there's that. So, yeah. Please see the cashier. That's the one for me. At the gas station. That was the one. And by the way, I never would go to see the cashier. I know what this is about. Hey, we got the 10 o'clock hour of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up next. At 10:30, Mike Lewis and I ask a question to each other, and I want to see how he feels. Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer, or did he play himself out of the Hall of Fame? And up next, did you guys hear about a dentist where a video has gone viral, and this dentist actually told the crowd something, and I could not believe it. We're going to let you hear it. We'll do that next. Gee and Ursula with Mike Lewis.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure.
Now, 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're in your car every day, but when's the last time your car had a checkup? At Subaru of Puyallup, we make it easy with stress-free service. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Swing by before work, after work, or whenever it fits your schedule. No hassle, no pressure, just expert care on your schedule. Your car deserves it, and so do you. Schedule your appointment today at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Considering selling your home or downsizing? Visit themadronagroup.com for no-obligation counsel. The Madrona Group's team of John L. Scott experts makes it easy, guiding you to best pricing and timing, maximizing your profit with smart technology and unparalleled integrity. 5-star reviews and industry best according to Zillow, Google, Yelp, Facebook, and Redfin. This Saturday, hear the Madrona Group's Jason Fox on KIRO Newsradio's Home Matters. Maximize your home sale. Visit themadronagroup.com.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure.
Now, 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777 or biglou.com.
This week at Dimitro's Jazz Alley, experience guitar legend Al Di Meola live on his electric tour, Land of the Midnight Sun. Shows run this Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, the Oregon Trio.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Peter King. It's been a turbulent day in New York's Times Square. Demonstrators have tied up traffic to protest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's appearance across town at the UN.
We want to see a ceasefire. We want to see a free Palestine. We want people to be able to live in dignity. The Palestinian people are teaching us how to be human, and the people here are committed to humanity.
Netanyahu told delegates that Israel must win the war against Hamas, and to Hamas directly, his message was lay down your weapons and free the remaining hostages. CBS's Holly Williams says he also seems to want credit not just for fighting Hamas, but much more.
He seemed to be trying to recast Israel's actions as heroic, saying that Israel has hammered the Houthis, crippled Hezbollah, crushed much of Hamas, and devastated Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile program. He seemed to be actually saying that Israel deserved to hear a thank you from the rest of the world.
President Trump says James Comey's indictment was a long time coming.
This is about justice. He lied. He lied a lot.
CBS News legal contributor Caroline Polisi says Trump's social media post urging his attorney general to indict Comey could work against the case.
You can bet your bottom dollar that the first motion Comey and his attorneys will be making is one for a selective and vindictive prosecution, and they've got the evidence there in the form of that Truth Social tweet.
European Union defense chiefs have been meeting about a series of drone incursions believed to be from Russia.
After drones were spotted around airports in Denmark, Sweden, Poland, and Germany.
Clearly, we are facing clear challenges.
EU Defense Minister Andrius Kubilius says Russia is testing the EU and NATO.
And our response must be firm, united, and immediate.
Needed a drone wall using radar, acoustic sensors, and low-altitude aircraft to detect and protect. With the EU's eastern border alone spanning 3,700 miles, that drone wall won't be built overnight. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
The latest Trump administration tariffs include pharmaceuticals manufactured overseas unless drug makers are building plants to make them here in the U.S. CBS's Kelly O'Grady says they also include foreign-built
trucks. That is critical to how goods move through our supply chain. And so if you potentially increase the cost of that, it might trickle through to the everyday goods that we buy.
The National Hurricane Center says Hurricane Umberto doesn't appear likely to hit the U.S., but some computer models show that it could land somewhere in the southeast or mid-Atlantic coast by the middle of next week. FEMA says it's prepping just in case. Wall Street, the Dow is up 348 points, the NASDAQ up 62. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
Charges in an alleged hate crime against a trans woman. The story coming up. At first, KIRO News Radio traffic. In Seattle, a disabled vehicle's blocking a lane on I-5 northbound at Alborough. A disabled vehicle's blocking a lane westbound on the I-90 bridge. You are slow as you leave Seattle. Construction as you bog down on the I-90 bridge eastbound over Mercer Island. 2 lanes closed northbound on State Route 167 near Pacific. That's after a truck hit a girder. You are backed up to Sumner still. WashDOT has canceled the weekend closure of I-405. Traffic brought to you by the KIRO News Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The Chelan County Sheriff says DNA test results confirm Travis Decker is dead.
We found Mr. Decker. He's accounted for, and then we can say that threat to our community is confirmed, no longer a threat.
Decker's remains were found less than a mile away from where his daughter's bodies were discovered at a campground near Leavenworth in June. Sheriff Mike Morrison says he hopes the girl's mother will find some kind of peace now. A 25-year-old Renton man has pleaded not guilty to assault and a hate crime in the beating of a trans woman last week. Police say Ranmore Edwards and 3 teenagers attacked 39-year-old Nikki Armstrong at the Renton Transit Center while yelling transphobic slurs. Prosecutor Bryce McPhee.
Despite the defendant's lack of criminal history, the state would ask bail be maintained, given the concerns for the safety of the community.
The judge ordered Edwards held on $300,000 bail. Police now say it was a gang feud that led to a mass shooting at Harry Todd Park in Lakewood last May. 7 people were hit by gunfire. KIRO 7 TV says 2 people are now charged with assault, 19-year-old Aquarius Seal and 17-year-old Jonathan Williams Camoza. An update on lane restrictions on State Route 167 in Pacific. That's near the King-Pierce border.
2 northbound lanes have been closed in Pacific since Tuesday when a truck hit a girder beneath the highway. The question is, how long will it take before it's back to normal? Spokesperson Brian Nielsen.
We will not be able to put traffic back on that until we've completely replaced that girder. We don't have a timeline yet, but it's not measured in weeks. It's measured in months.
In the meantime, WashDOT is looking into opening a second lane. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
The Mariners clinched the AL West title this week and now have a first-round playoff bye and home field advantage in the division series. Last night, they logged their 17th win in 18 games, best in Colorado 6-2. The M's play the LA Dodgers tonight. They host Game 1 of the division series October 4th. The Seahawks and Cardinals had it all tied up at 20 last night in Arizona. Jason Myers had a shot at a 52-yard field goal as time expired.
And the kick is up, and the kick is good!
Seattle wins at 23-20 and improves to 3-1 on the season. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny skies today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays, September 26th. If you're new to the show, where you been? Thank you for being here. If you always come on to the show, on the Gee and Ursula Show every day, hey, thank you and welcome back. Ian is on the board. He's in for Nick today. Paul Holden is here for Chef. Paul, first of all, I just want to say thank you for continuing to come in because you are a Colorado Rockies fan and your team has just been a real nice punching bag for the Mariners. Your quick thoughts on that?
They've been the punching bag for basically the entire league, but yeah, no surprise. But I even though I watched my team get smoked, I will say those are 2 of my favorite Seattle memories, seeing the game on Tuesday and Wednesday. The energy, the atmosphere around the Mariners is amazing, but oh gosh, the Rockies stink.
Yeah. And my main man, Mike Lewis, is here. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, G.
It's always good to have you in. By the way, Mike, you told a joke in the 9 o'clock hour. Whee! I had to look behind my back a little bit. And if you missed that, you can always listen to the podcast. Okay, everybody, let's get to it.
What's new at 10?
Former FBI Director James Comey has been charged in a federal indictment with obstruction of a congressional proceeding and making a false statement during Senate testimony in 2020 when he denied authorizing leaks of information to the press. Democrats, including New York Congressman Dan Goldman, were quick to criticize the indictment, and they say this is motivation.
I want to understand how you can make any kind of colorable argument that this is not a political persecution and a revengeful, vindictive, malicious prosecution against someone who's a political enemy of Donald Trump.
Now, James Comey, he isn't backing down. He released a fiery video saying that he wouldn't be intimidated. He also proclaims that he's innocent after being indicted on the federal false statement charges. More from Margaret Brennan, moderator of CBS's Face the Nation.
The president has been saying publicly he wanted to see action on this. So the fact that the president has said these things publicly and then the action was taken following some high-profile exits and dismissals from the Department of Justice for those who refuse to take such actions certainly suggests political interference, and that's where there is some outcry and scrutiny.
Right now, legal experts note that perjury is tough to prove and that prosecutors must show a clear, intentional lie, not just some fuzzy testimony. And already, Comey's own son-in-law, a federal prosecutor in Virginia, has resigned in protest, saying he couldn't serve under these conditions. So what we have right now is going to be a legal fight, yes, but also we all know everything is a political storm right now, Mike Lewis. I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you got?
So let me back it up a little bit. I think people don't sometimes understand what the grand jury process is. The grand jury process is we carry this over literally when the country was founded. It was this idea back then to sort of create a jury of peers who could sort of push back against state, overreach. Mm-hmm. It's become a tool for prosecutors. And here's the thing. So you probably have never heard of this guy, Saul. It's Watchler. Saul Watchler is a New York, retired, I think he might even be dead now, the New York appellate court judge.
Yeah.
Saul famously said in an interview to the New York Daily News, you could get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich.
I knew that quote, but I didn't know it was him.
That's the guy who said that. And it's a famous quote. What he's trying to say is he felt like the grand jury process had moved from something defending people to actually just being this really overreaching tool by prosecutors. And so in this particular case, when a grand jury process happens where they convene a grand jury, not only is it done in private, they are not in any way required to produce evidence or show evidence of anything countervailing, like anything that might prove innocence. They don't do that. All they do is tell a bunch of people, hey, these are all the things this person did without saying sort of the context of it. It's pretty easy to get an indictment, and particularly in this administration. And so is this indictment a good one? Well, probably. Who knows? But I would say that don't look too much, because remember, this is not also court. This allows an indictment to happen, and then the indictment can actually move into court where everything, this is why Comey sounds confident, where everything actually has to be weighed against the countervailing information. And so in this particular case, it seems pretty clearly, a political attack. Is there something there? We'll find out through the process if they don't just drop it. But I think what the Trump administration wanted here was that big splash that I am going after James Comey, as a bunch of his supporters wanted.
When is there ever going to be a line in the sand? Like, for example, Mike, you might have friends and or family. There might be something that friend or family member can do to you to make you draw the line in the sand. I think that we all have that on us. And I just don't understand. And my good buddy Tom that just texted in, and this is a question. It should worry you when you start to see people weaponize the judicial system. When that starts happening, that precedent, like what I'm saying is when that starts to happen, and when you have a precedent like that, the next person in office might do it, or the next person after that might do it. We will never again possibly bounce back from the stuff that we are seeing. The fact that it is possible, and as a matter of fact, one thing about the James Comey thing that doesn't surprise any of us, because the reason why it doesn't surprise us, because we knew. James Comey knew. You knew that if Trump were to get back in office again, he's coming for you. He's going to come for anybody that does not do what he wants you to do. This is the reason why he has control over the Supreme Court. This is why he has control over Congress. This is why he has control over the Republicans that actually disagree with him,
right?
But they're absolutely afraid to go against him. Our founding fathers set up our land for a reason with 3 branches of government. Why? So we would not have a king and or a dictator. That's why.
Yeah.
But because of who Donald Trump is, we essentially right now have a king and a dictator. This isn't an administration. This is a regime right here. Whether you like Comey or politically, or that's fine, whatever you think. But you cannot want to continue to see the DOJ used and being weaponized against the people.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things that I think is people are realizing. I mean, he's been rewriting the rule book since he got into politics.
Oh my!
The great irony here, of course, is that he won in part because of a decision by James Comey on the Hillary. I mean, like literally, this is like James Comey's chickens coming home to roost.
Yes.
It is a very as a person who appreciates like historical irony. Ooh, this is a big one, right? Like this is odd, but to your serious point, people should be worried about this. People should be, and corporate America should be worried about the Jimmy Kimmel, like the whole idea of this sort of systemic capitulation now and unwillingness. But remember, what the Trump administration did this time was what a lot of people warned. They said the first wave of things they're going to do is they're going to rid these agencies of the people who pushed back in the first election, which is what they did.
Yep.
And look at the Department of Justice now and how many people left the Department of Justice as a result of this, including now James Comey's son-in-law. And so this was laying the groundwork for exactly this behavior right now.
Okay. Let's go to California. In California, there was a dentist right now that is facing some controversy after a video has gone viral. Now, I see some of you guys are awake. You're awake right now and you're defending and you're, different political sides. I want to see if this is something, potentially, Mike, that we can all agree on, that this ain't good. Santa Clara dentist, Dr. Harleen Gruwal, describes herself as the MAGA dentist, and in the video that went viral, she discussed having a wall of fame with pictures of Republican leaders. As she continued, she had this to say. By the way, y'all, this is real. I want to know what you think.
So after hearing certain Democrats complain about my prices, I look at them confused and say, how's Bidenomics working for you? It was so much better in my office when the Dems stayed home during COVID with their masks on. I wish they still did. So I have a secret hat I use sometimes. It says, make your smile great again. So I wear that when I work on my patients. So when they look horrified or complain, I quietly cut back on the laughing gas and say, you got this. It's not as bad as you think it is. I stole that from Joe Biden.
My question, text in 888-973-5476. Should this person lose their license to be able to continue being a dentist? Mike Lewis.
No, I'm not as outraged by this as a lot of people. And you know where I stand politically. But this is someone, I mean, so many people, including friends of mine, make really dumb jokes in the moment. They're getting attention, in front of a group of people for the first time. They say something, they get a little bit of a laugh. They say something more, they get a little bit more of a laugh, and then they go a little bit too far. I've seen it a bunch of times, so have you. So I don't know. This sounds like, if this dentist, who has a right to say any of this stuff, I don't think this dentist actually was doing this. I don't think they'd risk their career on this. But secondarily, I don't know. If I've gone to that dentist as a Democrat or as a Libertarian or as a Green Party member or as a Republican or whatever, as a Whig, as whatever, and I walked out of there relatively pain-free with good teeth, I'm fine with it. I know we all want to get worked up about this kind of stuff. It was a dumb thing to say, incredibly stupid thing to say publicly. But, maybe I'm in the camp that if you're going to say something dumb like this, fair enough. And if people don't want to go there, fair enough. But I'm not particularly outraged or troubled by it. I don't think the person's actually doing that. I think they're making a joke, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, really. Really, I don't think a dentist, I think that they actually, regardless of their political persuasion, because we all have been to conservative dentists and doctors and we have, even when we didn't know. Now we know. I had taken on faith that this person is still doing, even if they were a bad dentist before, they're still a bad dentist. If they're a good dentist, it doesn't drive me around the bend. I know I was supposed to be driven around the bend by this, but it just didn't do it.
Okay. There's a popular saying, but the first time I heard this was when I was younger at St. Martin de Porres at school, and the school custodian, right? He would always say, he was an older gentleman, I can still see his face right now. Hey, y'all don't believe fat meat is greasy, do you? he would always say that. Mike, that's what we're living in. Everything that we are going through right now started off as a joke, right? And to the only time it becomes serious, it's one of those things that it doesn't catch up to you until it catches up to you. I look at that as that politically, doctors, lawyers, police officers, law enforcement, whatever. I have never heard someone in this type of profession would joke that way. I don't think that that's a joke. I actually believe in my heart, because first of all, we're all people.
Right.
We're all people. And I think that when you go to a dentist or you go to a doctor, you go to someone and you're getting a procedure, you tend to think that the person that is working on you, I don't know if I want to say it that way, but that is caring for you, doesn't have anything in their heart about politics. Anything. And if they did, it has nothing to do with you, the patient. So when I hear someone talk that way, when people say and show you who you are today, I'm going to believe you.
Well, but let me push back then. Let me ask you a question. If you went to this dentist or another dentist, and you'd been going there for 2 or 3 years, and every time you walked in, like, man, this is the first time I've been to a dentist that my mouth didn't hurt for days afterwards, that I didn't have to go back for something to be corrected, that this person actually went through the procedure, sufficient amounts of Novocaine or whatever it is that you find as making a good, because I don't know of anyone who looks forward to the dentist. We all have differing, like, and we put off those appointments. But if you did, and then you found out, then you found out that they made a joke like this, but you'd been going there, given your current political leanings, you've been going there for years. They've been doing a great job on your mouth. Do you still go, or do you stop at that point?
No, I stop at that point. As a matter of fact, today, 2025, September 26th, this is the first time in my life that I've actually thought about a physician or a dentist actually thinking that way. Now, we've already heard of the medical myths that's been out there.
Totally.
The ones where they said that black people can tolerate more pain than others. By the way, if you guys think that's an opinion, go and look it up right now. Because I don't want anybody to think that G is just throwing stuff out. Look that medical opinion up. That used to be a thing. Sure, I was too young to really understand that part, but I'm telling you, Mike, I personally have never gone into a medical facility or a dentist and ever even wrapped my brain around that. So when I hear this, it blows my mind. Now, the question is, going forward, as a matter of fact, I've never even thought about my dentist and their political affiliation. I don't even know.
Right.
But now, guess what? I'm thinking about it.
Are you going to screen them? Are you going to ask them?
No.
Right.
Not right now.
Right.
Because it's never been a topic.
And maybe it still isn't one. I mean, maybe it isn't.
You keep saying maybe. Have we ever had doctors or dentists do bad things? Yes, they're human.
Totally. But I mean, maybe is every trip to every sort of medical professional, because we don't know. We're going to an expert because they know. We don't. And I would say that I'm actually would be more concerned about a doctor who's doing a much wider range of things. I've always had, sorry, dentists, I'm not trying to call you out here, but I've always worried more about the dentist because I feel like that is an environment where there's a lot more upselling going than almost any other environment in the medical community. And so in this particular case, if I were going there and getting great oral health and I felt like the outcomes were good, I'm not interested in their politics whatsoever. And if I knew that my dentist, who I really admired or really liked or really enjoyed, said some dumb joke to a group of, poorly informed people, I don't know. It's hard to find a good dentist.
Fair. Before we go, I always say this to Ursula, and I'll say it to you. You've been in this news game. You've been covering news way longer than me. You ever heard or read something like this before?
Something like this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Where
Yeah,
a doctor or dentist jokes like this?
Yeah. California. I mean, I spent a long time in the news business in California. It's like spending time in Florida. Yeah. You're going to hear or see all kinds of outrageous stuff.
Right.
And in some cases, I actually think when the person says it in all seriousness, if someone's talking to a room of people who are laughing about it, I don't know, man. I mean, would I have been going to this dentist anyway if they're wearing the make your smile great again hat? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
All right. Good stuff. Go back and forth. Hey, coming up next is Russell Wilson, a Hall of Famer. We'll discuss that next. Gee Ursula with Mike Lewis.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah.
I
got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO Newsradio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pain slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you, irgpt.com.
You're in your car every day, but when's the last time your car had a checkup? At Subaru of Puyallup, we make it easy with stress-free service. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Swing by before work, after work, or whenever it fits your schedule. No hassle, no pressure, just expert care on your schedule. Your car deserves it, and so do you. Schedule your appointment today at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's orchard.com.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, football fans, Steve Rabel here. You know what makes Washington State truly special? It's the people, the everyday champions who serve, care, and connect. This fall, your local credit union, WSECU, is proud to celebrate 4 of these inspiring individuals as part of Washington's Community Champions. Serving Washington since 1957, WSECU is the only credit union named a Forbes Best Credit Union 5 years in a row. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your hero today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Oh, no! What are they doing?
Protesters clash with ICE agents at a facility in Broadview, Illinois. That audio from The Independent. Up to 75 protesters were back today. 2 were detained. This demonstrator says agents fired pepper balls at them.
The sharpshooters that are up there, there's 2 people up there and they just started shooting at us, for no reason.
Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted over the probe into whether Russia meddled in the 2016 election. More from CBS's Natalie Brand.
President Trump lashed out at former FBI Director James Comey while leaving the White House this morning.
He's a dirty cop. He's always been a dirty cop.
His comments come less than 24 hours after Comey's indictment, a major escalation in the president's efforts to target political opponents.
Comey's accused of giving false statements to Congress and obstructing a congressional proceeding, which he denies. A defiant Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke before the UN General Assembly, criticizing the Western countries that have recognized a Palestinian state.
Israel will not allow you to shove a terrorist state down our throats.
He says that would reward Hamas terrorists. Some countries hoped the designation would prompt Israel to end its war in Gaza. Microsoft says it has disabled cloud and AI services for a unit within the Israeli military. Brad Smith, president of the Redmond-based company, says Microsoft found evidence Israel is using the technology to spy on citizens in Gaza and the West Bank. Seattle-based Starbucks is laying off 900 corporate workers and closing hundreds of stores. And that includes the Reserve Roasteries on Capitol Hill and Soto.
It feels a little unjust. Not even little. It just feels unjust. There was no real warning.
A laid-off worker there. Starbucks says the layoffs are part of a push to cut costs and invest more in its cafes. Seattle-based Westland Distillery is missing a whole lot of pricey liquor.
Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey.
The company says someone stole 12,000 bottles of whiskey, including a rare 10th anniversary release from its Burlington warehouse in July. The Seattle Times says it's worth more than $900,000. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 358 points. NASDAQ had 78. KIRO News Radio traffic. I'm seeing a possible crash on I-5 at South 375th Street. It has you pumping brakes through 5. Construction has you bogged down just on the east side of Mercer Island on the I-90 bridge eastbound now. That's an improvement from earlier. And remember, 2 lanes are closed northbound on State Route 167 near Pacific. That's after a truck hit a girder. You're backed up to Costco near Sumner right now. WashDOT has canceled the weekend closure of I-405, but there's still a lot of road work this weekend. It'll shut down parts of I-5, State Route 18, and I-90. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny skies today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays. Here we got Mike Lewis in for Ursula today. Coming up in about 12 minutes, it will be time for scenarios. The last scenarios for the week, and we're going to try to be the problem solvers. But there is a question that we all need to discuss. During the Seahawks game last night, you guys might have heard a conversation about Russell Wilson and him being a candidate for the Hall of Fame. Tony Gonzalez thinks that since Russell has left Seattle, that Russell Wilson has played himself out of the Hall of Fame. And then right after Tony Gonzalez said that, here's former teammate Richard Sherman. He also had his thoughts, and I want to play it for you.
Left Seattle, and I don't know, how's it going to get better? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think you got to judge his career off when the Legion of Boom was there. He had a legendary defense, an all-time defense, and how much success he had. And then without that legendary defense, the success he had. Without that legendary defense, he's been 4-11, 7-8. 0-3 to start with the Giants. He was a winning football player in Seattle, and people said, hey, winning is football player, all this good stuff, all these accolades, and now you get to go on your own and you get to prove, hey, I'm this great quarterback. I'm this guy that's going to be dominant, and it just hasn't worked out that way.
There's this saying that I don't know when I heard it, but as you guys know, I've been around these guys for about 22 years now, and one of the sayings, you probably have seen it before, if you live for the cheers, you might die by the booze. Football there is no sport like football. It is the ultimate team sport. To be a good quarterback, you need an offensive line. You need great wide receivers. You need a run game. You need a great offensive coordinator. You need a great head coach. And guess what? You also need a great franchise and organization. Ask the Detroit Lions. Ask the Cleveland Browns. There are some awful organizations. Matter of fact, the Cleveland Browns, they've had like 30-something starting quarterbacks over the last 30 years. I mean, it's bad. But I want to curious and text in 888-973-5476. Do you think Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer? Text us. Mike Lewis, what you got?
You know, the funny thing is, if Russell Wilson had, and I'm glad that he's, you know, for Russell's sake, I'm glad he's still playing. I'm not a big Russell Wilson fan. I suspect that Richard Sherman is also not a big Russell Wilson fan. But I think that if his career had ended shortly after his tenure at the Seahawks ended, I think he probably is. I think since then, it has been a series of, like, he had that nice little run with Pittsburgh until the playoffs happened. I mean, he still every now and then will show you that thing that makes him tantalizing and makes you want to, you know, have him on your team. Mm-hmm. And then he does these other things that make you like, oh, that's not great. So I'm thinking, no, he's not. I mean, I think that having a run, I think there's been other Seahawks Rick Meyer had this incredible run over a short period of time and then didn't. And that's not Hall of Fame, right? I mean, maybe the team wants to put him in their own Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
That makes some sense. But I would say that from a Hall of Fame standpoint, I mean, Sean Alexander, who you brought up earlier, Sean Alexander, MVP.
Was an MVP.
Right. Is Sean Alexander a Hall of Fame running back?
Yes, he is. He absolutely is. The problem is he's just not liked. I'm just going to say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah,
if Sean Alexander was more likable, he would be a guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Why is he not likable? I mean, I don't mean to change this away from Russell Wilson in the Hall of Fame. And you don't need to get into it if you've got.
Okay. I'll answer it. Answer it. Sean Alexander is he's very much a me guy,
right?
And he really rubs people wrong, and nothing. Kind of a nice guy, but he doesn't have that that charm. Now, sometimes,
does Russell Wilson?
There are players that when the camera turns on, it's one thing, but when the camera's not on, it's another. That happens.
Right.
I don't know who does that, but that happens. I always on this show, I say something that Harvey Dent said in Batman. If you know the answer to that, text in 888-973-5476 because it holds true. It holds true. And what does Harvey Dent say in Batman? He says, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Right.
You just said something a second ago, and you're spot on. Had he stopped playing when it was time for him to be traded to the Denver Broncos, first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But since he has left Seattle, he went to Denver. It ended so bad in Denver. And by the way, our
really
Paul Holden can tell you, it ended so bad in Denver that they paid him $39 million to leave. Now, imagine someone being at your house and you want them to leave your house.
Right.
You want them to leave your house so bad that you say, hey, Mike, hey, listen, man, here's $5,000 to get out.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos said, here's $39 million to leave.
Right.
Then the Pittsburgh Steelers picked him up. And the Pittsburgh Steelers let him go. And then the Giants just picked him up. And he was a starter for only so long.
I would say, though, and I'm not trying to make, I agree 100% with what you're saying, but a slight pushback on Pittsburgh. If you have the capacity of even signing a 42-year-old or 41-year-old, however old he is, Aaron Rodgers, you're going to let Russell Wilson go 10 times out of 10.
Okay, well, New York just had a rookie.
I understood that. I understood the counter-argument to what I just said.
Before we go, I want to ask Paul, and then I'll come to you, Ian. Paul, is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer?
No, not anymore. And I mean, the last few years have been a big problem, and I don't know if one Super Bowl is enough.
Ian.
I think he's got, the raw talent. He's got that big arm. He's got all the good stuff to make a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I don't think he's had a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah. Ian, I see you're proudly wearing that UW hat.
It's a big weekend, G. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, it is a big weekend. Ian, this is your chance right now. It'll be recorded. Everybody will get to see. Do you think the Huskies are going to win tomorrow?
Yes.
My man.
That was a long sauce.
Okay.
I had to think about it, but yeah.
Hey, we're not allowed to bet or gamble here at KIRO, but how about we do a friendly little wager? I got one for you. If the Buckeyes win, then you change. Are you on social media at all?
Not actively. I'll read stuff, but I don't put things out there for people to see.
All right, I tell you what. The next time I see you after the Buckeyes win, you need to you need to buy or find a Ohio State hat, and you need to wear it around me.
My guess is might have a couple of extras.
You know what? I do. As a matter of fact,
I'll be here Monday. One of us will wear the other team's colors Monday.
Fair. There we go. If UW wins, I'll wear some UW stuff. By the way, oh gosh.
Do you own any UW stuff?
Heck no. Nothing UW at all. But I will say this, though. I do like, now this is serious, I do love, and I don't know if Jed Fish knows this, I love Jed Fish. I think he is fantastic for UW football. As a matter of fact, he is going to be the reason why recruits stay home. you'll never know who the reason why the recruits don't stay home, but that's another story in itself. Hey, coming up next, scenarios, Gee and Ursula.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Metropolitan Markets, PCC, or Safeway. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
When I was in the market for a new car, I wanted to buy from a dealership that had the best selection and value, outstanding customer service, and a sterling reputation. That is exactly what I found at Carter Subaru. Hi, this is Ursula Reutin. Over the years, our family has purchased 2 Outbacks from Carter Subaru, and we plan to be customers again in the future. With over 200 new vehicles in stock, they've got what you're looking for today, including the 2025 Outback with 1.9% financing for 48 months on approved credit. And right now, you can also get the 2024 Crosstrek with 2.9% APR for 48 months OAC. As a family-owned business, they take great pride in making car buying a hassle-free experience. Shop with the Carter Subaru Advantage and enjoy valet parking at their Ballard dealership and at-home delivery across all their locations. Visit Carter Subaru Shoreline or Carter Subaru Ballard today.
On approved credit, documentary service fee may be added to the sale or capitalized cost. Carter Subaru is buying down the rate for the 2025 Outback. Max amount finance is $20,000. See dealer for details. Valid through 9/30/25.
This week at Dimitro's Jazz Alley, experience guitar legend Al Di Meola live on his electric tour, Land of the Midnight Sun. Shows run this Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, the Oregon Trio.
KIRO Newsradio is teaming up with Global Credit Union to support our veterans with the Invest in Our Veterans program. For more than 75 years, Global Credit Union has been committed to our military communities and to organizations that back our military and their families. Do you know a nonprofit serving our heroes that could use additional funding? Head to mynorthwest.com/veterans to nominate an organization to receive $1,000 to support their mission. Let's invest in our veterans. Go to mynorthwest.com/veterans.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I hope I can get to this thing. Here we go. My husband is so upset at how bad our 10-year-old son's football team is. He was a big star football player in high school and wants our son to do well. And our second son is good, but the team is not. They have not won a game all season and probably won't win one. I don't think it's any big deal, but he is so upset about it, he won't come to the games. He says it's just too awful to watch, and it's embarrassing. I think it's important to cheer on our son, no matter what. All of the other moms and dads are there except for my husband. He even said that Homer Simpson was right when Bart told Homer, "You wouldn't even come to my Little League games?" To which Homer replies, "I told you, I find them boring." What do? I don't want to start a fight with him, but I don't think he should be doing this, and I want him to support our son and, of course, me as well. Your thoughts? 888-973-5476. Mike, you have to bat first, sir.
So, I don't have any. I do have experience on being on this. I was a pretty marginal athlete. I was the only person I know who was cut from like 7 Little League baseball teams as a kid. Right? I played a bit of high school football. I was okay, not great. You have been on the other end of this scenario where you have been like very involved in your kids' athletic pursuits. So, I guess personally, my folks didn't show up at my events, and it never bothered me. I mean, they made me feel valued in all kinds of different ways that had nothing to do with sports. So if this dad is like not enjoying it and not feeling great about it, and it just is going to go there and be unhappy and then need to carry that conversation forward, maybe you ought not go, or you should at least work on your own ability to absorb this information without living vicariously through your kids, right? What do you think?
I think first, before I weigh in on this topic, I want to share something with you guys. I was really bad. I was over the top. I was the dad that would be upset about losses. I was the dad that would lose sleep when my son's team would lose. All those things. I'd be upset going off on my kid when he didn't play well. I was that dad. I was never the dad, though, that got kicked out by the referees. I never said anything to the refs.
Right.
And it wasn't about the refs. It was about my own kid. So I want to first start off by saying that I was bad. But I also want to just give you guys some statistics before I weigh in on this opinion. 1 in 610 baseball players, not less than 1% of kids out there playing baseball will get drafted in MLB. Football, about 1%, 1.6% of just college football players will make it to the NFL. Let me say that again. 1.6% of college players. It's even less of that for if you've never played college, right? Less than 1% of you soccer, and we don't even want to get into basketball.
No.
The NBA basketball is insane how less that is. I mean, less than 5,000 people in totality have
Those
ever
are
played.
Small rosters.
Yes.
Your likelihood is extremely low.
So, here's my take. If right now because I know some people are going to say, yeah, G, I don't believe you. If you are a coach of a team, if you are a parent of a child that is playing youth sports, I'll tell you this. It is much harder and more lessons and more preparation for life happens when you lose. You absolutely learn nothing when you win. You know how sometimes you see the parent out there that takes a picture of the scoreboard? Oh, my baby, their team just won 65-6. They learned nothing.
Right.
All they did was just win. It's really easy to show up to practice every single day when you're the star player. It's really easy to show up to practice every day when you're having fun and you're having pizza and you're winning games. The players that are more prepared in life are the ones that really aren't that good, but they come to practice all the time.
Right.
The ones that really, they lose a lot of games, but they show up and they play their hardest. That kid, now you notice I said in life, I didn't say if they become an NBA player because I gave you statistics on that.
Right.
The kids that can get beat, lose, and keep coming back are more prepared than life than the kids that show up and just win and just
100%
do everything. So there's that.
I played 3 years of varsity football. We played 10 games a season. I won 5 games in those 3 years. I mean, my parents watched a lot. So to go to the scenario, shout out to my folks. I really love that they supported us. But you do learn a lot from losing. I would have loved to. I never played in a playoff game. I never got to experience playoffs atmosphere. But I did learn a lot about how to handle adversity. I went through a whole summer training for football, sacrificed my summer to win 1-2 games a season. But I learned a lot and had a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, and as far as this dad, here's my advice to you. There's probably nothing that you could say to this dad or nothing that you could have said to me that would have made me change. The only thing that can happen is time.
One quick question for you.
Yeah.
You were a good athlete when you were a young man.
Yes.
You were a really good athlete
Yes.
when you were a young man.
Yeah.
Like, how did your folks react to your sports?
My father was kind of the same way a little bit. Like, no. I was usually the star player, right? So it was easy for my dad. But if I did have a bad game, he would pounce on that.
Was that more helpful or more hurtful when you
It
were
was
a kid?
more
Or
hurtful.
was it both?
It was more hurtful because of all. If I played 100 games and I played 1 out of 100, that was bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, coming up next, we got the 11 o'clock hour. Thank you for hanging out with the Gee Ursula Show.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news.
A minimum wage increase proposal is moving forward in unincorporated King County.
KIRO News Radio.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you plan to use the carpool lanes along SR 167, you'll soon need a flex pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Wendy Gillette. National Guard troops will be among a task force of 13 agencies arriving in Memphis next week as part of President Trump's crackdown on crime.
I care deeply about the people of Memphis and the city of Memphis.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee announced the task force will include state troopers, U.S. Marshals, and unarmed National Guard troops.
We have a generational opportunity to make this city a safe city once again.
The state will provide an additional $100 million in grants for public safety initiatives.
The story of crime in Memphis is about to be a story of the past.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Protesters blocked streets near Times Square in New York City as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the United Nations General Assembly. Salam Alam was among them.
We reject that Netanyahu would be allowed to speak at the United Nations. We reject the United States' sixth ceasefire when the entire world condemns that.
Netanyahu encountered more protests at the UN.
As Benjamin Netanyahu walked up to the podium, dozens of UN delegations walked out.
Please, order in the hall.
To mingle jeers and cheers. He lashed out at the Western nations who've moved to recognize a Palestinian state.
We will not commit national suicide because you don't have the guts to face down a hostile media and anti-Semitic mobs demanding Israel's blood.
Netanyahu denied Israel is committing genocide in Gaza and insisted its offensive there will continue until, his words, the job is done. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Former FBI Director James Comey says he's innocent after his indictment that alleges he made a false statement to Congress. CBS's Margaret Brennan.
Comey says he has faith in the justice system in terms of how this would play out. In other words, an indictment is not a conviction, and he seems to be very confident that that won't happen.
The White House announced new import taxes, including 100% on pharmaceuticals. Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady.
We get over $230 billion worth of pharmaceutical drugs imported into the country. That was the figure from 2024. And the industry has warned, this tariff was telegraphed, if you will, that this could cause higher prices for Americans, maybe higher insurance costs, as well as maybe losing access to some of those drugs or less access.
Additional tariffs include 50% on kitchen cabinets and bathroom vanities, 30% on upholstered furniture, and 25% on heavy-duty trucks. On Wall Street right now, the markets are up. The Dow up 345 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Travis Decker confirmed dead. The story coming up. At first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Near Redmond, all westbound lanes are blocked on State Route 202 westbound at Sahali Way. A semi-truck carrying dirt has jackknifed, spilling its load. 2 lanes remain closed northbound on State Route 167 near Pacific. WashDOT has canceled the weekend closure of I-405, but roadwork will close parts of I-5, State Route 18, and I-90 over the weekend. Traffic brought to you by Kia of Everett. Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The Chelan County Sheriff is confirming that Travis Decker is dead. DNA from skeletal remains found near Rock Island Campground match Decker, who's wanted in the murders of his 3 young daughters. Sheriff Mike Morrison speaking about the girl's mother.
If anything, we just hope that maybe she would sleep better at night. She wouldn't be looking over her shoulder. But we understand nothing we can do is going to reverse this travesty and bring her daughters back.
The girls' bodies were found at a campground near Leavenworth in June. A drive-by shooting in South Seattle last night leaves a 41-year-old man injured. The victim says he was sitting in his car on Wabash Avenue South when someone fired through the window. He is in stable condition. Detectives say he knows the shooter, but the gunman took off before police got there. A 25-year-old Renton man accused of attacking a trans woman is being held on $300,000 bail.
Randmore Edwards, charged with assault and a hate crime in the beating of 39-year-old Nikki Armstrong September 15th, pleaded not guilty to the charges. Prosecutors allege Edwards and 3 teens beat and kicked Armstrong while yelling transphobic slurs.
These are very violent charges, and it is the alleged brutality and the alleged animus which gives me the greatest concern.
At the King County Regional Justice Center in Kent, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
WashDOT has assessed the damage after a truck hit a girder beneath State Route 167 near Pacific, closing 2 lanes northbound.
We do know that the one girder essentially is not carrying any load anymore, which is why we have the lanes closed. We will not be able to put traffic back on that until we've completely replaced that girder.
WashDOT's Brian Nelson says it's going to take months to repair. The Mariners now have a first-round playoff bye and home field advantage in the division series. Seattle beat the Colorado Rockies last night 6-2. It was a big night for Eugenio Suarez.
Swung on, belted deep to left field. Going and goodbye baseball off the facing of the upper deck and left.
Tonight, the M's start their last regular season series against the World Series winning LA Dodgers. The Seahawks nearly let last night's game slip away. Arizona tied the game with 33 seconds left, but Jason Myers nailed a 52-yard field goal. Seattle wins it 23-20. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny skies today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show, September 26th. If you're new to the show, where you been? Thank you for being here. And for those that are here every single day, we appreciate you for being here. Mike Lewis is in for Ursula. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, G.
All right, and good morning to Paul Holden. Paul Holden is in for Chef. Paul, you were up late last night, and you still came in to make sure you produced for us. Are you doing okay, considering that you're a Colorado Rockies fan?
Yeah, well, I mean, yes. All things considered, yeah. I only got 3 more games, and I don't have to worry about it. Other than Mariners fans who now get to go on the ride of a lifetime.
8 more games than I don't.
And the pain ends. Not like I have to talk about them 5 days a week or anything like that.
Ian is in for our main man, Nick. Good morning to you, Nick.
Hello.
All right, let's get to it right now. We got a lot of stuff going on in this 11 o'clock hour, by the way. Mariners, you know what? Playoffs are coming, and tickets sold out in minutes. Did you guys get a pair? Did you get some of those? Fans flooded the website right at noon yesterday, hopping on to grab seats for the division series. Team officials say the demand was overwhelming. Seattle clinched the first-round bye earlier in the day thanks to the Cleveland's loss. That means the Mariners will host Game 1 of the ALDS on October 4th at T-Mobile Ballpark. If you're listening right now, were you able to get some? Let us know. 888-973-5476. And by the way, just so we're being serious for a second, and by the way, Mike, people that listen to the show know that I mess up the dates often. So when I say what I'm going to say, it's believable.
Okay.
I just figured out yesterday that next week is October 1st.
I've actually been putting that off in my head as well. It's funny because I did the same thing on a person who's coming into town. I thought, I've got a couple weeks. Like, oh, no, next week.
No, it's next week.
Yeah.
And when I say next week, and I wasn't prepared for it, because you also know next week they will be honoring the top 50 Seahawk players of all time. That will be happening next week when they play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I didn't realize it. But playoff tickets, Paul, is there any price tag to these? I haven't heard anything about tickets. I don't even have any tickets. So if you're listening right now, if you have some tickets, can you spare one?
I heard the range was from a few hundred, like $2-ish hundred, all the way up to around like $9,000 for some of these tickets. Yeah, and this was, I mean, because I don't know, and this is just a guess here. Ticketmaster is so weird with some of the prices. What are you going to get? What are the fees and everything?
Weird is a nice way of describing it.
Yes, I think a very kind way of explaining that. So I don't have any official hard numbers. That's just some stuff that I heard, but I'm not surprised to hear that the tickets went, like that. You had to be ready to rock.
That's the thing. It's almost like you have to, for the working class, for that, you're right. You get to a situation where you're like, okay, I'm going to pick one game to go to at least say that I was there. I believe there's some like, okay, it's sold out in minutes. Maybe I won't get in on the first round. Maybe I'll try to pick for the family to go in the second round. And maybe if they go to the World Series, because you at least the World Series would be big, Mike.
But remember, it's going to get with every round, it's going to get exponentially more expensive. So if you're going to catch a game, also, it gets exponentially more rare that a team can get all the way through. Right? Your odds are definitely not. Hopefully they do super well, but if you're going to go, you better do it soon.
Standing room only tickets, according to Shane and Gig Harbor on the text line, $250 for standing room only seats.
Okay, I'll say this. Standing room in T-Mobile Ballpark, I'll take it.
I'd pay $200.
It's funny that you say that because I was going to say the exact same. You get there early. Those are some of the best places to be in the stadium.
Come on now.
They did a nice job on that design.
If you're going to stand somewhere, I'll stand at T-Mobile Park.
Absolutely.
I bought a ticket for the All-Star game a couple of years ago when it was here, and it was some nosebleed. Didn't even walk up and go close. I just stayed on the concourse and just watched from right there and I had a perfect view the whole time.
A few years ago, I did a story on the best places to grab a beer in Seattle.
Yeah.
And one of the stories was on these two guys who had purchased season tickets. They had season tickets for something like, 9 years at that point, nosebleed seats. They had never seen their seats. They would get there early. They'd go to the standing room only area and watch the game 100% of the time. They literally had never sat in their seats.
I love that.
775 says $160 for 300 level.
All right.
Possible. That's nice.
Yeah.
What's the? I guess the question is, is there a limit? Like, is there a limit to what you would do if you had the chance? Especially when you're talking like, I'd hate to have tickets to a game that doesn't exist. That actually happened to me and my family back in 2007 when the Rockies were in the World Series. Had Game 5 tickets to the World Series. There was only 4 games.
So can I ask a separate question though?
Yeah.
And both for everyone here, are your favorite sports memories exclusively live events, or when you were like with a good group of people? Because mine are not live events. Mine are frequently when you had that group of people you were around. You get my drift?
I do. And yes, you're right about that. I would say top 5 though is the
when you were there,
the Niners game. Richard Sherman, the tip. But I mean, that moment.
I've still got the video posted from our bar. I literally decided this just on a lark, like 15 minutes before the game. I put up a little GoPro on top of the electronic darts machine that sort of did a wide angle toward the bar.
Yeah.
That's still sitting on YouTube. I rewatch that from time to time just to make myself happy. People they lost their minds. It was so great. But I put that in my top 5.
You make a great point. But before I move on to the next topic, by the way, I don't want to move on to the next topic. I could talk about this for a long time. Before I move on, that's such a great point, because some of your most exciting sports memories don't necessarily mean that you were in the ballpark or at the football field or at the court or anything. You probably have a moment that you can think of with people. As you all know, I'm born and raised in Chicago. Right. So I was 10 years old, basically. I don't even know if I was 10. I was 9 when the Bears won the Super Bowl back then. And there wasn't a Super Bowl party. That wasn't lavish or anything like that. It was just my dad and I watching it in the room. I remember my dad was on the bed. I was on the floor. I remember like it was yesterday. And so, sure, they played against the Patriots. The Bears were rocking. You got to see the fridge. He got a touchdown and all those things. So you would probably think that celebration when they won was super awesome. It wasn't. And I'll tell you why. It wasn't because, my dad, as an adult, sometimes when you're kids, you don't understand what dads or parents or what is your problem? Right. Until you get older, you're like, oh, I get it. But as soon as it happened, he says, turn it off. And I turned the TV off. He was upset. Guess what he was upset about?
I have no idea.
Because they did not give the ball to Walter Payton for Walter Payton to get a touchdown. Huh. He was so mad about that. It ruined. By the way, he never liked the Bears ever again.
You're kidding me.
He rooted against the Bears all the time. He could not stand them. Oh, by the way, my father also did not. See, sometimes I'm telling the other side of my dad. Yeah. He also did not like the Bulls.
Really?
No, because he could not stand Michael Jordan.
He had to be, one of 5 people in the city of Chicago that were like that?
He didn't like the fact
that... Was he just a contrarian?
No, because Michael Jordan never said a word. He would not say anything but play basketball.
No. That's a fair criticism,
too. And that bothered him. It bothered him. He was used to the Muhammad Alis and the Jim Browns and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Russell.
Who paved the way.
Yes. And then so now that you are standing on the shoulders of giants, you want to say anything? Right. So, again...
I think that's actually kind of a fair point. That's thought out.
Yeah. Some would probably say that my dad was woke back then. But anyway, let's move on. Boeing and Turkish Airlines have signed off on a new deal worth up to $22 billion. The airline has agreed to buy more than 200 commercial airplanes. Up to 150 of them are 737 MAXs. Up to 75 of them are 787 Dreamliners. This will double Turkish Airlines' fleet of Boeing planes. Delivery scheduled between 2029 and 2034. By the way, when you say 2029 and 2034 out loud, for me, it feels like it's like 30 years away.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be like 4 years of 2029. What do you got, Mike?
So I think one thing people need to know, and everyone at Boeing knows this, people who follow Boeing sort of at a distance don't. Trust me, the suppliers for Boeing also know this. Plane orders and plane deliveries are 2 entirely different numbers. Mm-hmm. They build in all kinds of caveats, economic changes. Virtually, they can cancel these orders. What happens is a president, say maybe somebody in charge of Turkey, for example, in this case, they will commit to buying a bunch of airplanes. Then quietly, after the news cycle ends or over the next couple of years, a lot of those orders will get canceled. Mm-hmm. Every now and then, they actually meet them. But frequently what happens is, and remember, this is so they can have numbers to put up to talk about trade imbalance, which has been a Trump administration thing. Okay. Is Boeing going to deliver this many planes to this airline? I think that's very unlikely. Is it good that they got an order? Absolutely. I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade, but understand that there's a big gap between when they announce orders, what they never come back and tell you is actual plane deliveries. And those numbers change between the order point and delivery point. Like you said, it's years out there. Not all of these planes are going to end up at this airline. Trust me on this.
Is Boeing a can't-fail company?
Well, there's only 2 big ones right now and another sort of a couple of smaller ones. Kinda. I mean, we're celebrating things about Boeing now. It's sort of like celebrating a 9-7 season or maybe even a 7-9 season, given Boeing's recent history. These are tinier deals than Boeing used to clock regularly. Mm-hmm. I do hope, and I root hard for Boeing. I think Boeing's fundamentally important and really sort of the core Seattle company at this point.
Right.
I want them to do well, but I do think that we need to be able to stare hard at, the culture that's there now, the culture that needs to change, and the numbers as they actually exist, not the fantasy numbers, which tend to be on the plain order end of things.
Now, last segment in the 10 o'clock hour, I got riled up about a dentist down in California.
Yes, you did.
I got riled up, set it all up, and then at the very end, you're like, no big deal. And I told you, I said, hey, you know what? They start off as jokes,
right,
and then they end up becoming serious.
And I think that's a great point. I agree with you on that.
Because I do.
Yeah.
I want to see if you take this one serious. Would the Trump administration consider moving the 2026 World Cup matches set for Seattle to another city? I want to let you listen to something because maybe he's just joking. Here we go.
Any city we think is going to be even a little bit dangerous for the World Cup or for the Olympics, where they have Olympic overthrow, right? But for the World Cup in particular, because they're playing in so many cities, we won't allow it to go to. We'll move it around a little bit, but I hope that's not going to happen.
So he said it, and then he says, because what happened was someone asked him about cities agreeing with him because the Trump administration about the sanctuary city status and all that kind of stuff. Because that if Donald Trump, if you don't do what he wants you to do, he will threaten to take things from you, like FCC licenses and all that kind of stuff. Right. When you hear this, you think it's a joke still?
So I'm not sure I'm going to compare those two. But to your point, do I think that this is a joke? I don't think that he actually is interested in doing that. What I think he's interested in doing is just putting a little fear in. This is the reason I say this is that these decisions are made at the FIFA level.
Yeah.
And that is an organ, and that's and the guy who's in charge of FIFA. Well, I know it's highly corrupt, like deeply as corrupt as any organization out there, including the Olympic Organizing Committee. I get you. I agree 100%. But what I would say is that the leader there made every effort to like do all of the fealty moves that you need to do with Donald Trump, kissing in the ring, the whole 9 yards. Like he understands how many things have gone into organizing the biggest sporting event in the world every 4 years. Bigger than the Olympics, the biggest thing.
Which is one I think people like me and I think most, I don't think we understand how big it is.
It is massive. Getting that thing, Trump loves to sort of stir the pot. I think in this case, I don't know that could actually even happen at this point. Everything is in place. And so do I think that he is needling people and making them scared and making them nervous? I think he loves chaos. And so, yes. Do I think that he can actually effectively change things once FIFA has already locked down these things and the rooms are booked and all of that stuff has happened? I think it would be extremely difficult to do so. And what he's essentially criticizing is Seattle, Los Angeles, these other cities that he deems too liberal to have any sort of benefit from large scale events.
Has anybody ever seen the movie Dumb and Dumber? One of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a great movie.
To this day, I mean, every time I watch it, I laugh. And then he says, so you say there's a chance.
Yeah, exactly. The line that gets repeated more than any line from that movie is exactly that line. You say I got a chance.
Before we move on, Paul, did you give us any positive news here in this segment? I mean, because this last one probably hurts more than all of them. The last 7 p.m. sunset of the year happened yesterday. Yes, for Seattle, Western Washington, meaning that the big dark is coming. 7 p.m. sunsets won't happen again here until March 5th, 2026. Well, we might be losing light, but one would argue that right now, Seattle still has the best weather in the world.
Spectacular right now.
Oh, it's crazy. But 7 p.m. last sunset, does that bother you, or is it just me?
Now, I mean, I've said this, I think, before on air here. I start moping about the days getting shorter while they're still getting longer. In May, I'll start immediately thinking about the date out there when the days start. I spend most of my time bumming out about days getting shorter, even when they objectively are not. And then I have like 2 good weeks where they're long. The 7 8, and every time then we get the last 6 p.m. one, and pretty soon it's dark all the time. Yeah, I'm not looking.
What was rough for me this morning was getting to the gym and then leaving the gym, and it was still dark. That got me this morning.
So I used to, when I got into Seattle first, I worked for the Post-Intelligencer newspaper, and I was one of the King County reporters. And we had our office inside the King County Courthouse building, and it was inside next. Of course, if you're covering the agency citing you an office, you get a terrible office, and it's next to the elevator shaft, no windows. Mm-hmm. I would go in darkness and leave in darkness, and I never would see the light during the day when I was working in that office. It was terrible.
Nini texted in and says, I was at Felix Hernandez's perfect game on August 15th, 2012. It was incredible. There have been so few perfect games. Felix was number 23, and it was truly once-in-a-life experience. To which I want to say to you, Nini, jealous. I've never been at anything really cool at a baseball game. Like, I wasn't there for Cal Raleigh's 60th. That would have been great to be there. Yeah. I've never seen a grand slam in person. I've never seen a no-hitter in person. I've never seen a perfect game. And by the way, when I was younger, I went to a lot of baseball games.
Right.
Oh, here's one for you. I've never caught a foul ball.
Never caught a foul ball either.
Like, nothing cool happens to me at games.
I caught my first one at the last time the Rockies were in town against the Mariners.
You got a foul ball?
A couple of years when the Rockies were back in town, not last season, but the season before.
Where was it hit?
Oh, it was, luckily the company was nice with the seats, so I was right behind home plate, and I was able to get it. Not in the Diamond Club, where a certain host of a show from 9 to noon only sits when he goes to T-Mobile Park. But,
coming up next, Agree to Disagree. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age. making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Sinclair, which owns Como TV in Seattle, says it will stop preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live as of tonight after what it calls thoughtful feedback from viewers, advertisers, and community leaders. Disney and ABC suspended Kimmel and his late night show for a week after comments he made about the Republican response to the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted on 2 charges linked to the investigation into whether Russia meddled in the 2016 election. President Trump had vowed to go after his political foes when asked who's next on the list.
It's not a list, but I think there'll be others. I mean, they're corrupt.
Comey's accused of giving false statements to Congress and obstructing a congressional proceeding, which he denies. A defiant Israeli prime minister addresses the UN General Assembly.
As Benjamin Netanyahu walked up to the podium, dozens of UN delegations walked out.
Please, order in the hall.
To mingle jeers and cheers. He lashed out at the Western nations who've moved to recognize a Palestinian state.
We will not commit national suicide because you don't have the guts to face down a hostile media and anti-Semitic mobs demanding Israel's blood.
Netanyahu denied Israel is committing genocide in Gaza and insisted its offensive there will continue until, his words, the job is done. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Microsoft says it has disabled cloud and AI services for a unit within the Israeli military. Microsoft President Brad Smith says the company found evidence that Israel is using the technology to spy on citizens in Gaza and the West Bank. Smith says that goes against the company's commitment to privacy and human rights. Starbucks is laying off 900 corporate workers and closing hundreds of stores. That includes the Reserve Roasteries on Capitol Hill and in Soto.
I met Cameron and two of her coworkers outside Starbucks Reserve Roastery on Capitol Hill. She tells me her phone rang early Thursday.
This morning at 8 a.m., they gave us an automated phone call that we do not have jobs. They're not transferring us any stores, and basically, good luck.
The windows at the roastery are now boarded up. The famous siren above the front door was removed. Starbucks says the closure is part of a $1 billion restructuring plan across North America. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 372 points. NASDAQ ahead 85. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Lori.
Thank you, Heather. And traffic is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. 202 at Sahalee Way. We have that jackknife semi still blocking all the lanes. 167 northbound, old news as of yesterday at Pacific, still blocked from that bridge. No estimated time of reopening, so very slow go, which is causing northbound 5 to slow as you approach State Route 18 in Auburn. Southbound 5 slows past the T-Dome, and that's caused by the road work that's going on at I-705 in Bothell. 405 northbound, a stall on the ramp to 195th in the left lane, and you're backed up to about, a little before you get to 522. 405 closure for the weekend. All that road work has been postponed. Seattle to Linwood, an easy 23-minute drive. In Everett to Bellevue right now, a 2-minute delay at 35 minutes. Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny skies today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hey, welcome back into the Gee and Ursula Show. Mike Lewis is in for Ursula today. Ian is in for Nick, and my main man, Paul, is in for Chef. Before we get to agree to disagree, I was going to make a point right there. Oh, I know what it was. Everybody's texting in, talking about all the cool things that they've seen at baseball games. And I just want you guys to know I'm jealous. But as I was sitting here with envy, looking at everybody caught foul balls and home runs, and you were there, no-hitter. And by the way, Paul said something. There haven't been any no-hitters this season in Major League Baseball. Paul, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a first time. There's obviously still time. It could happen, but first time since 2005, so 20 years. Wow. That it might happen.
But I realized something that is cool, that it wasn't cool maybe then, but it became cool later on. And if you are a Mariner fan, you can appreciate this. I was at Jamie Moyer's first MLB start.
Okay.
He started as a Cub. I was there for that.
Oh, that's funny.
Boom!
Jamie Moyer, he pitched for, 17?
Oh, yeah. Jamie Moyer pitched for a long time. So, you Mariner fans, you guys know Jamie Moyer. But is that cool? I think look at me. I'm just trying to be cool because I realize I'm not. All right, let's get to it.
I think, hold on, though. Don't you also, stand on the sideline? Aren't you standing at midfield at Lumen Field hyping up the crowd for the 12s on game day?
Didn't you win a national championship last year?
Weren't you at the national title game? Didn't you travel with your son who was playing and then got drafted?
One of the necessary things in talk radio is to have a short memory, and G is showing evidence that he has a very short memory of what he's actually participated in.
Oh, boy. All right. Let's dive into the...
Beastquake was kind of cool. All right, here we go. Let's get to it. Agree to disagree. Brought to you by Garden Roofing and Gutters.
Just really go at it.
Let's stick in the world of sports here, and it's been an interesting conversation. Usually you don't hear a lot about this position group until they mess up, and it's a conversation about kickers in the National Football League.
Okay.
We're seeing kickers now kick from longer distances. We're seeing 60-yard field goals. We're seeing 50-yard field goals, including a big one last night.
And the kick is up, and the kick is good! And the Seahawks win the game!
Yep, Seahawks taking home the win there on a walk-off field goal there. So, Gee, I want to start with you. Are NFL kickers too good? And instead of banning the tush push, do we need to do something about kicking in the NFL?
No, we don't. And we need to enjoy it as long as possible. I'm going to say something that is unpopular, but you guys are used to me doing that. A football game just in itself has a short time to be enjoyed the same way. Watch this. Most people don't watch an entire NBA basketball game anymore. Right? The way we consume sports is different. As a matter of fact, right now, how many of you on Sundays get on and watch the Red Zone? Because you say, I can't watch whole football games.
Genius.
It is genius. So now you got Next Gen and you have one of the most entertaining ways to watch NFL football games is to be on X at the same time. So you got X on at the same time. You got your iPad with Red Zone. You're watching your football team. What I'm saying more and more and more. And by the way, I'm at the games all the time. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to say something that is also unpopular. I'd say 50% of people at the games are watching the games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are at the games just doing it for the gram.
Right.
There's a lot of people that are there just taking pictures, and they're there because it is kind of cool. It's kind of like getting pumpkin spice for coffee. Like, I'm just doing it because everybody else is doing it. So while we're enjoying these kickers, enjoy it now. Because NFL football is the one sport, or college football is the one sport that makes us still go and subscribe to cable, whether it is cable or YouTube TV or Hulu. Nothing else makes us get regular TV, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that I don't know. I think that it is. I'm super happy for the success of the team. If you want a successful team in the NFL, the kicking game, I know they're going to get worried when the kicking game gets more important than that's. But remember, since football began, the leading scorer on every team is almost always the kicker. Like, they are continual contributors to the game, and your team does have to get into range. They already narrowed the goalpost once in my lifetime.
Yep.
And my guess is they probably won't do it again. This is up to the defenses to solve this problem. This is not up to the offenses to them to recalibrate on the offenses, as far as I'm concerned.
The NFL
is not a problem. I think it's great.
I want to tip the cap to NFL. They have done an amazing job over the years of curating the game to where we still want to watch it. This is where baseball messed up for so many years.
And baseball finally got religion on this.
Finally, you got the pitch clock and everything, because there were so many people like, don't touch the game. You better touch it.
Right. You should modify it.
You should. And the NFL has done a fantastic job with that. Matter of fact, real quick, Ian, you do fantasy football?
Not this year.
Paul, you do fantasy football?
I have 4 teams.
Wait, you're in 4 leagues?
Wow. Yes. Paul's taking my spot.
Okay. Sweeping statement. If you are in 4 or more fantasy football leagues, you like gambling more than football.
I think that's true.
Fair?
That's true.
Like, you're just in it to just try to win something money-wise. This isn't about football.
I care more about the Broncos than I care about my fantasy team.
That's weird. Just don't play fantasy.
Well, this is where you and I disagree, because I can't sit here and say I'm not a gambling man.
So my sweeping statement was correct?
I don't know. I mean, it's a sweeping statement, so I don't know if it's correct for everybody, but I would be a hypocrite to say that I am not heading up to place a little bets on the action.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Text messages, feedback, and then Mike, can you get the words to live by for us?
Oh, right. Yes,
all right.
We'll do.
We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for our huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
I love my Subaru Outback, which I purchased at Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership. Hi, Ursula Reutin here. Carter Subaru has the largest selection of Subarus in the state. And for a limited time, you can get the 2025 Subaru Outback for 0% financing. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, documentary service fee may be added to the sale or capitalized cost. Carter Subaru is buying down the rate for the 2025 Outback. Max amount finance is $20,000. See dealer for details. Valid through 9/30/25.
Happy Fresh Fridays, everybody. It's now time for those good old text messages. We talked about a lot today. And by the way, thank you all for listening to the show and hanging out with us. And thank you, Mike, for coming to fill in for Ursula today. Sean Alexander welcomes 14th child. Ian, I didn't get your thoughts. What would you say if you met somebody that just had their 14th child or is going to have it?
Wrap it up.
Okay. 425 says, you need a bus. Just go to McDonald's. 206 says, on Sean Alexander, I would say you can't stop at 13. That would be unlucky. Plus, you got to have at least 3 on the bench when you have a football team. Mike?
From Craig and Puyallup. My son had said if you have 2 kids, you can play man-to-man on defense, but if you have more than 3, if you have 3 or more, you get to play zone.
Early, we had Charlie Harger come in and give love to Rick Riz, and we talked about the power of sports on radio. Andreas in a 425 says, Gee, I still sync up the radio broadcast to the TV because it is so much better.
From Doc in Seattle, I don't have Root Sports, so Riz has me hooked on audio only, feel like a kid again.
Come on now. Jeffrey on Vashon Island says, I was working as an Uber driver through most of the summer. I might have seen 1 or 2 games on TV, but listens to dozens on the radio. Baseball on the radio just feels like summer to me. I love it. I will say this. Baseball on the radio is way better than on TV, except for playoffs.
I mean, that's true. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Eric Decker declared dead. From Diane in Seattle, I have a lot of respect for Sheriff Morrison and his efforts to finding Decker. Reading the Seattle Times article in today's paper, he's crediting the agencies and the people who helped. He's waiting for the DNA test in the body before making the statement that it was Decker's body. And for Monday, all the Monday morning quarterbacks. Have you ever been in the area? I have. I've camped numerous times in the Icicle Creek area, and someone could have been a foot from you and you wouldn't see them, let alone a dead body. Morrison didn't give up. He kept the search going and found Decker.
Well, Diane, thank you for that.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Earlier today, I did tell the story, the embarrassing story about how my debit card declined in front of everyone at Winco down there in Tacoma. It was pretty embarrassing. John in Maple Valley says, hey, G, that's why you should always have $100 on you at all times. Just saying.
From Bonnie, Gee, if I was in line behind you, I would have let you Venmo me. Winco needs to stop this debit-only nonsense already.
Okay, before we move on, I just want you to know, I was such in a time crunch, and I'm so weird. I'm so weird about seeing the kickoff of Seahawk games.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really weird about that. I was just about to ask someone, like, hey, can I Venmo you? But then I probably couldn't Venmo them because the debit card is linked to my Venmo. Right. So then it would be I would have to have someone else Venmo. It just got weird, man.
That's a bad day.
That's
a bad day.
We talked about the dentist who claims to be MAGA, who made the funny, according to Mike Lewis. Well, not so funny, according to some people, but Mike Lewis said this person should not lose their license. They talked about how they kind of ease up on the gas, the laughing gas, if they're not MAGA. 206 says, she is having fun, but it is tacky. I'm MAGA. She should keep her politics to herself.
From Andy in Newcastle, don't say anything that might make you lose your job. Wise words.
509 says, the dentist jokes were obviously scripted and she was trying to be funny. G thinks she was serious about cutting pain meds on Democrats. Bad taste for sure. Not really funny, but really?
Brian from Arlington, I've heard medical people say some pretty horrible jokes about drug addicts that come into the ER. Democrats and Republicans, they may make jokes, but they still actually treat medically the same way. I'm with Mike on this one. All of the medical people I know are healers first. They do their job the best they can, even for people they think are horrible.
Okay, that feels good. We asked a question earlier in the show if Russell Wilson should go to the Hall of Fame. Judy in Tacoma says Russell Wilson is not a Hall of Fame athlete. He was our guy. He was part of our Super Bowl winning team. But that doesn't make him a Hall of Fame athlete.
From Pat in Olympia. Nope, not a Hall of Fame player. Russell Wilson was in the right place at the right time. Is that a text from Richard Sherman by any chance?
I'm not reading 425s. Scenarios we talked about today. So in scenarios, it was about a mom wanting to ask how she can get her husband to go to games because her husband doesn't want to go to games because their 10-year-old son's teams lose all the time. Tyson says if you're not showing up for your kid just because they're on a losing team, the child might think not only is the team losing, but they are a loser since mom or dad isn't showing up for them.
From Pat in Olympia, I didn't want my parents coming to my sporting events because I didn't want them to be disappointed in me that I wasn't a starter. However, as a parent, I will never miss my kids' athletic events.
Hey, Pat in Olympia, I just want you to know, growing up, I remember just that. That was a real thing. By the way, I'm dating myself. I played a lot of my youth sports, young sports in the 80s. You know, when I was coming up in the 80s, there weren't a lot of parents at games.
No, it was a very different world. Like, it wasn't unusual. Like, when I played high school, and I didn't play all the way into my varsity year, I don't know, most of the team didn't have parents out. I mean, it was just not that big of a deal, and it wasn't. I didn't feel like left out or somehow unsupported.
No, the baseball, Mr. Osborne, he was a mail carrier during the day. He worked as a mail carrier, and then he'd always come pick everybody up in the van. And you go to the baseball games. It was not packed with parents like back then. If you're listening right now, I don't know if you understand that, if you saw that, but It wasn't packed. All right, let's get to it. It's now time for the words to live by. What do you got there, Mike?
So I am going to defer on words to live by to one Cal Raleigh.
Thank you, Sam. We love you. Might as well go win the whole thing.
There are some words to live by right there.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Mike, it was good today. Good show.
It was a good show.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you, Jake.
But before I go around to the thank yous, you said something today that I still keep thinking about. Somebody actually texted in a message too. Your greatest times of sporting events usually don't come from inside of the sporting event, having been there. So wherever you are, maybe capture those moments.
Absolutely.
Because someone texted in and says, I was with my grandma, who's now deceased now. They said that was with my grandma when the tip happened, when Richard Sherman and the tip, and she remembers his grandma said, intercept, is what she says, and he wished he would have captured that moment.
Right.
Because sometimes when you're talking about these times, you're talking about the Mariners, there's a possibility in years to come, some of the people that you're enjoying that moment with might not be here in years to come.
Well said, G.
So,
well said.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Paul, listen, man, you've had a rough week, bro.
I watched some fun baseball.
No, as he said, the pain is over.
It's almost done with 3 more games to go.
Yeah.
You can turn the laughing gas back up now.
Exactly.
Hey, Paul, what are you nerding out on this weekend?
I have a lot of Mario baseball stuff to do this weekend, so that's what I'm doing this weekend.
Gosh. But by the way, I can call you a nerd because one of my good friends is my best friend's the nerd.
That's right. And I get to say the same about you. Right? With similar things, right?
Ian, thanks, man.
You ready to wear purple on Monday, G?
Oh, yeah. Hey, here we go. You got some confidence?
I got some confidence. We got a good football team.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's getting ready to get down. Hey, appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. The Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around at KIRO News Radio. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Hey, Spike O'Neill here with Dr. Matthew Sharp, owner of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Dr. Sharp, I keep getting questions from our listeners. When's the right time to have this procedure? My eyes are changing. Should I wait until they're done changing?
Well, I always tell patients, do it now. Don't wait. Whatever age you are, and that's part of the mission of Sharp Vision, is that whatever age you are, whatever prescription you have, we try to find a procedure that works for you. When you're young, LASIK and PRK are great procedures. As we get older, the refractive lens exchange becomes more appealing because that can fix whatever glasses prescription, whether you're farsighted, nearsighted, or have astigmatism, and it fixes it permanently so you don't develop cataracts, and it allows you to see near without glasses.
Do what I did. Schedule a consultation to learn everything you need to know from the best Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an E-vision.com.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details. Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-497-0593. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-497-0593. That's 800-497-0593. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma.